Hey, everybody. It's me, the three kittens that stare into your soul.
What does each kitten do? Like, what's like? It almost seems like you're going for some like Greek mythology thing. So, like, what are the kittens' names, and how do they judge you? Or like, what like, they tell your fortune or something? Do they predict your doom?
No. They just go,
No.
meow.
Oh, I
And
mean,
then
I also
people-
like that though.
And then people are like, whoa, those kittens are cute. And the next thing you know, a fucking wrecking ball destroys them.
If you could only
by the
save,
kittens.
if you could only save one from the wrecking ball, which
Well,
one would you
the
save?
kittens are not in danger from the wrecking ball.
Oh,
They're just
okay.
they're just the distraction, so that you're obliterated by the wrecking ball. As
All right,
you're
what if the
admiring
wrecking
their
ball?
cuteness.
What if the wrecking ball came at the kittens and only one of them could be saved? Which one would you save?
Of these,
Yes.
that middle one.
It almost looks like it's kind of like what is Demeter, like a tortoise shell or something?
I don't know.
That middle one is retarded.
You think so?
Yep.
Based
Probably
on
so.
what?
The only reason TJ's saving it is because it has a fucking pattern on its face or whatever. It's the worst one. It's the worst cat.
Of course, Paul would say that.
I like the one with its arm hanging out. That's the one I would save personally.
Now that arm hanging out one is a cocky bitch.
Yeah, I like
you just
that,
tell.
though.
Look at that. Look at he's too cocky. And that
It's
fucking that one on the other end is lazy as fuck. Look at him.
That's the one
Just a-
Paul would save. I guarantee
Yep.
you.
He's just a lazy little piece of shit. Nah, that middle one's fucking legit.
Not only saving that cat, I'm saving my fucking time having to deal with a fucking cat that's all wild out. Fuck that, dude. Oh, give me the lazy one.
I mean, Paul, I think me and you pretty much, our cats are like jackpot. You know, TJ's cats. I mean, like I like them, but they're demons. Like Cornelius, especially. There's not even a debate about that. TJ Cornelius is the worst behaved cat of anyone's cat here.
Yeah.
Yeah, easily.
I mean, like, if you even try it, like, no, what about, like, no, dude. Like, I have not heard a cat that's destroyed as much shit as Cornelius.
No, I mean he's like he's bad pretty much
What is
nonstop.
like, I am
the only time
destroyer of worlds.
The only
That's
time he's
Cornelius.
not the only time he's not bad is if he's like recharging to be
Or
bad
eating.
again.
Or probably currently eating food. The minute he's done eating, he's probably back to
Yeah. Then he's immediately searching for more food.
Dude, that straw shit. That's the thing that really got me with him. You're like, you know what? I'm like, you know, I even told Taylor one time, like, man, Cornelius gets a bad rap. Then I went over to TJ's house one day, back when he lived down in the swamp, and I had a drink with a straw in it. That motherfucker stole my straw out of the fucking drink and knocked my drink over. And I'm like, this cat's a demon. Fuck this thing.
Yeah.
This cat deserves to be sent straight to fucking hell. Then I realized I'm probably going to hell, so I'm like, send him to heaven.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, Cornelius. I don't know if Cornelius is necessarily smart. He just does not give a shit.
Yeah. Cornelius is a fucking giant ball of retard energy.
He's a one brain cell cat.
Nah, he's fucking smart as fuck, unfortunately. I wish he was a retard because he'd be a little bit easier to control. But
it's like Worf in Star Trek. He's got guile, dude. Cornelius has guile and
I don't know
cunning and conniving, but he's not
like
smart.
he's got no chill, but like is in terms of like he understands mechanical, like how to fucking work shit in the world. Like he's figured out the mechanics behind pretty much everything in the house. Even shit he can't fucking operate, he at least understands on principle.
TJ comes home. Cornelius is building an automaton to
like
go out in the world.
I'm serious. Like, you know, Sal has that fucking food bowl that that thing where he has like a fucking giant screw on lid. Cornelius knows how to unscrew that. He knows how to unlatch the fucking safety clips on fucking like Tupperware. He knows how to open the air fryer. He knows how to open fucking doors. He can't quite get enough of a grip on the round knobs to open them, but he understands the principle, and you'll see him trying to fucking flip them in his hands or his little paws. So I don't know.
He's a demon, dude.
He's got like he's got something going on. But yeah, like in terms of like being able to communicate with him or something like that, or get him to listen, I don't know. That doesn't happen.
I mean, that's all cats. No cats listen.
No, I know, but like other cats do listen compared to Cornelius. I feel like my other two cats listen way better than he does.
Yeah, I mean, if like it's time to eat,
Like,
or
if I
something, my
see-
cat will listen.
But if I see like Squeaks up on the counter and I'm like, Squeaks, fucking stop that, he'll fucking be like, oh shit, she's serious, I better stop. Cornelius won't stop. He's like, come stop me, bitch. I'll throw him off the counter and he'll just jump right back up like, fuck you.
Have you ever tried what happens if have you ever tried the spray him with water thing or the loud noise thing on the counter?
Loud noise does nothing. The spray, it'll work, but only if you shoot him right in the face.
So he gets shot right in the face, then he just jumps down and is like, "Wow,"
Yeah.
and then he's right back up. Probably.
But if
2
you
minutes
shoot him,
later.
if you shoot him anywhere else on his body, he doesn't care.
You tried throwing a grenade at him.
It'd probably be
Get
effective
down.
and less destructive than letting him live.
Probably, dude.
In the long
Squeaks
run,
is
yeah.
Squeaks is just lazy, and I think what's the other cat? Rocket.
Squeaks might as well just be a fucking goddamn decoration at this
Yes.
point, you know?
Yeah, he's lazy as fuck, dude. But that, I mean, like, I'm fine with the lazy cat, dude. Just
And
I cannot.
Squeaks is fat as fuck. Like every time I see his ass, every day he's a little fatter. He's turning into fucking the real Vladimir Harkonnen. I'm pretty sure by like another fucking year or two, Squeaks will just be a ball.
Yeah, but it's because you feed him nonstop because he just meows. Gotta stop feeding him so much, dude. It's not good for his health.
I don't know.
I mean, you're gonna feel real sad when he goes to the vet and they're like, he's obese and has all these health problems.
I mean, he doesn't even get fed that much. He's just a fat fuck, dude. He's just fucking genetically disposed.
You told me every time he makes a noise, you feed him.
And I mean,
Nah, he's just genetically
he's
predisposed.
just genetically predisposed to being fat as fuck, dude. I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, yeah, should be a little chunk, but I mean, okay, TJ, how do you get fat?
He's got that gene that forces people to feed him every time he makes a noise, you know?
Dude, he's just fucking genetically fat. I don't know what to tell you. It's true.
I'm not fat, I'm big bad.
Dude, when Amelia first came down, I'll never forget, I was helping her unload the car and Cricket's carrier was back there and I was like, I'll get Cricket. And I picked him up and I thought she had fucking catfished me. I thought there was like 3 cats in there. I was like, holy shit. He came out, he was the chonkiest fuck
Chunk
that you've
chunk.
ever seen. And now he's normal weight.
He's svelte.
It's not svelte. He's still a pretty big cat, but he's not like, dude, he was blubbergumptious.
Do you know what he weighs? Like, is he like maybe 10 pounds, 12 pounds or something like that?
I don't know. I don't know exactly what he weighs. He's lost a fuck ton of weight though.
Oh,
We
but it was
gotta-
like you picked him up. It was like you felt like, oh, this is a heavy ass cat.
Yes. I
Okay.
I thought it was 3 fucking cats.
Oh, yeah,
catfished me.
Yeah, I see what you did there.
I tell you what, you know, fucking as far as my cats go and their weights, like Corn Pop inhales food, but I think he spends so much energy looking for it that he stays skinny. Whereas all Squeaks ever does is just fucking sit in one spot and go meow, meow. I guess sometimes you can get him to be a little active, like you can get him to chase a toy for a minute. But pretty much he just wants to catch the toy and then lay down with it and be like, yeah, I got it.
So he won't play with Cornelius at all.
No, if Corn Pop tries to play with him, Squeaks just gets mad and like fights. Leave me alone.
Cricket like will post up at different doors and windows trying to catch like bugs that are coming inside.
Yeah.
He does this like lion roar thing when he's by himself. We'll hear him like he makes like it's weird. I've never heard a cat do it. It's like not a meow, it's like a wow. And then he just like runs.
Fuck was that?
We hear him running. It's like he's
Oh,
fucking
dude.
he's got a whole like routine.
He's like, I am king here.
Oh, at night, Vance will do something similar to that. Like he will just fucking let out some guttural thing, and then he just like darts around the house. And the cats fucking my cats at least love to run between my fucking legs. I'm walking down a dark hallway. And I'm just like, what the fuck are you guys thinking? If I fall on you, you're just squished. And you're just running between my fucking legs as fast as you can.
Yeah, my cats don't fuck with that. If Squeaks try to run between my legs, and fucking goddamn, I have to do a split. Motherfucker's so fat.
He fucking gets stuck, dude. Be like, oh shit, Chelsea, got some Crisco. Gotta get this cat out from between my legs.
Motherfucker's so damn fat. Every time I pick him up, I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. It's like fucking lifting up a fucking burlap sack full of bowling balls.
Put that fat fuck on a diet.
He already, I mean, fuck, I don't know where the fuck he's getting all this fat from. You don't get fed that damn much.
All right, how often do you feed him?
As far as I know, motherfucker's only fed once a day.
How much do you feed him?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean you don't know?
It's like a bowl of food or whatever.
Do you fill it to the top?
I don't fucking know.
Okay, yeah, we discovered the problem. You just feed him too much, TJ. All you gotta do is cut his food back. That's it.
I don't even fucking feed him, so I don't fucking know.
Oh, okay.
I'm not allowed. I'm not allowed to feed him because they fucking said I was overfeeding him. But you know what? I ain't been allowed to feed.
The truth always comes out eventually. With
yeah, well, you know what? He ain't fucking. It's been months and he ain't lost no damn weight. He's getting fatter still.
You're sneaking him food, TJ.
I ain't snuck him shit.
Squeaks, come here. We're starving, boy. Here's a tuna fish sandwich.
Here's a cheeseburger, Squeaker.
Oh, Squeaker.
Why am I doing an impression?
Yeah, why are you doing an
voice?
impression of yourself?
That sounds nothing like me.
It's me, TJ.
That's me, TJ. Eat this cheeseburger, okay? Yeah, I haven't been allowed to feed him for like, I don't know, 6 months or something. And he ain't lost no weight. He's just as fat as ever. He's fucking fatter now.
Dude, you know what, though? You can blame them. You can turn around and be like, you know what? When I was feeding him, he was just kind of fat. Now you guys are feeding him way fatter.
He's even fucking fatter.
How do you explain that? How do you explain that, huh?
More TJ than TJ. Hell yeah.
Is Squeaks like bullying the other cats away from their food and getting their food and shit?
I mean, Corn Pop is fed separately.
Okay.
I don't know about the other cat. Maybe
maybe
he's stealing Rocket's food or something.
I bet that's what's going on, dude. I bet
that does happen.
I bet Squex is fucking getting his food and fucking the last third of the other cat's food, dude.
Little bastard.
Gotta feed him separate. You gotta keep them separated.
Well, whatever. I kind of like him being fed.
Why does Squex get fed separately? Or Corn Pop?
Because otherwise he'll just fucking eat everybody's food.
Oh.
Too aggressive. My cat tries to each other's food.
You can't put a fucking demon among cats. I mean, let's be real. I mean, like, if you ever fucking spend any time with Corn Pop, you know Corn Pop is not a fucking cat. He's a goddamn demon. He's not really a cat. He's some kind of fucking horrible mutation that should never have happened. He doesn't act like a cat. I mean, he has some cat-like attributes, but like, you know, he doesn't have normal cat behavior.
Orange cats are fucking nuts, dude. I don't know what it is about the orange cat, but if you get an orange cat, you're just in for a fucking ride. I mean, there are some sweet ones in the world. I'm not saying all of them.
I mean, Chelsea works as a pet sitter right now because she can't do the grooming stuff because, you know, her back and shit.
Right.
So she's like doing more like pet sitting stuff. And she's taken some like certification courses in like animal behavior.
Mm-hmm.
And she did one in cat behavior. And she's just like,
Corn Pop's insane.
Corn Pop's not a cat. Like none of this shit adds up. This motherfucker's like missing a screw. He's got problems. He's insane.
He's a trash cat, dude. You found him in a dumpster, you know, and
So
you know, he probably was. He was never really raised around other like cats when he was like super little. So he probably just didn't like develop the right social skills.
Yeah, you get yourself a Louisiana trash cat. This is what happens.
That's what fucking happened to you, boy.
This will happen. Corn Pop is a gangster. And I know Corn Pop would not be named Corn Pop if it wasn't for Joe Biden. So Otherwise, his name of Cornelius probably would have stuck.
I just bought one of your shirts. Well, thank you. Which one did you get? Paul gonna stretch that back today? That's look, dude.
I
Why is
stretch my back every day. I don't
Yeah.
twerk every day, but I have a whole regiment of stretches that I do several times a day just to keep my spine somewhat mobile.
Yeah, you gotta stretch, dude. Stretch it. You stretch, TJ?
No,
Really? You don't stretch at all?
no, not really.
That's one thing you gotta do, man. Even if you don't want to do any other like workouts, like you're like I don't want to do anything. I don't want to lift weights or run or jog. That's the one thing I would tell anyone to do is stretch.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I do like some half-ass like bullshit stretches, but I don't do any like real actual stretches anymore. I used to.
Dude, just fit. You could do like 15 minutes a day of stretching, dude, and that'll improve your life.
It's a waste of fucking time, Scotty.
It's not, man. Fucking
I know
telling
why.
you, TJ.
You know why, Scotty?
Why?
Because you do all that stretching and shit, and whatever time you add to your life, you waste stretching. You know what I mean? Better to just die young, like Bray Wyatt. Ugh.
I know, dude. He's fucking. I mean, where were you when that happened? By the way, TJ, you weren't in Florida or wherever it is. Were you?
I was fucking standing above him with a rock.
Well, he died of a heart attack.
Yeah, from a rock to the head.
All these damn wrestlers dropping like flies, man. They had Terry Funk. He died. I mean, he was
Well,
old though.
They all do fucking steroids and shit, you know. I'm not saying that's a contributing factor in all their deaths, but a lot of when you see how like a lot of these motherfuckers die like super young, you know, a lot of them do fucking a shit ton of steroids.
But you know, but you all people say that, but then you have the example of like Stallone and Arnold. I mean, now obviously those guys are super rich, but I mean they fucking juice like crazy.
Well, I mean, hey, it's like the fucking, you know, you live the rock
Those
star
guys-
lifestyle. Some motherfuckers OD when they're fucking in their 20s, and some motherfuckers live to be fucking 70, 80, 90 years old.
Yeah, they're pushing. They're like, you know, the next
like the
5
fucking
years.
Rolling Stones and shit.
Yeah, Terry Funk was like 79, 80. Well, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. I'm not saying that it was shocking that he died. I'm just saying that like 2 major wrestlers died pretty close to one another.
Ozzy's still alive, yeah. Just barely.
But Ozzy, like they fucking sequence his genome. Like he's resistant to all kinds of fucking like drug abuse and shit.
Well, I'm sure some of them wrestlers, they got fucking steroid resistance too. Plus, you know, I feel like there was definitely a heyday for the steroids. It's not as bad now, I don't think, because you don't see like the super ultra jacked wrestlers too much anymore. Like they still got a few, but a lot of these guys now are much more like live than they were in like the 80s heyday of the fucking, you know, the Hulkster and fucking Ultimate Warrior and
remember
shit,
Vince
you know?
McMahon had a
Macho
had like
Man.
I mean like he had like a federal rap, didn't he, with steroid abuse? Like he was investigating everything else. Yeah, I mean, so like they were juicing like fucking crazy. Yeah, it's not just abuse of steroids, it's also the abuse of insulin. I mean, I don't pretend to know all the details about it or how people do it, but I just know that some people can do it. Like I said, Arnold and Stallone, they clearly did that shit, whatever they needed to do to have that edge, and you know, they're pushing 80.
Dude,
I don't know about
the Hulkster never juiced, dude.
That's true. He was all
Oh
just
my
vitamins.
god.
It was all just vitamins and shit.
Dude, I
for him.
remember when I
Eat
was
your
a kid,
vitamins, say
yep.
your prayers.
Say your prayers, eat your vitamins, be good to your parents. You know what I mean? Like he's clean as a fucking whistle, man. The real American.
Yeah, when he got smaller after they had those steroid policies, that was just because he wanted to slim down a little bit.
He was just trying to make the other guys feel better.
Yep.
That's what it was all about.
80s wrestling, god, dude. There was like, I mean, you watched that Ultimate Warrior versus Hogan match. I think it's like WrestleMania 3 or something, or whatever, one of those, or whatever one they fucking fought at. I mean, those guys are just like, just like sweating fucking steroids out of their fucking goddamn pores.
Yeah, those dudes were huge, but like a lot of times you watch the matches between those guys that are that muscular and shit, and they really can't. They don't really have much stamina, you know.
They're also kind of stiff usually too. They're not the best. I mean, they
Yeah,
all usually have the best moves, but but therefore their strength feats. Like they'll like, you know, body press somebody above their head, hold them, and then drop them or something.
Yeah, so that's like, oh yeah, that's impressive shit, you know.
Yeah, the smaller dudes have always been the ones that do all the crazy ass fucking tricks.
High
It's like,
flying aerial bullshit.
like
The
Shawn
great-
Michaels or
The
something.
greatest moment in wrestling history was Hulk slamming fucking what's his name? The
Andre.
the Giant. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's- Dude,
Greatest moment.
yeah, I've watched that match probably almost more than any other match just because of that moment. It's like, holy fucking shit. How did he pick him up? That's why steroids are just a good thing for some people. I mean, there's no way without steroids you would have been able to pick up Andre the Giant and slam him.
Yeah,
There's no fucking way.
I hear people say it all the time, and I wish someone would just fucking do it or figure it out logistically. Just like do like the steroids are acceptable sports, you know? See what the fucking real like what human potential really is, you know?
I mean
you
that
sit-
that is
it's a lot
that's
of
kind of
sports.
wrestling is kind of that, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean it was at one time anyway. Now I think that there's more stringency, but there's obviously still
I mean,
steroid use going on because
Of course. Come on, dude.
you know I know that Brock Lesnar was like recently tested positive for steroids in some
No. Oh,
in, like,
what?
UFC or some shit. So, and he was working mostly WWE shit. So, and then of course you just look at him and you can pretty much know that.
I mean, any of these guys tell you they're not juicy. I mean, like maybe the smaller dude, sure. But you're talking about like someone like that. It's like they're 100% doing it.
Oh, you know
They're
that
doing something
dude?
similar.
You know that dude that was like trying to convince people, like he was like insanely, I think it was Liver King. He was like super ripped. And he's like on YouTube saying like that the reason he's like that is because he's on like some like the primal diet or some bullshit.
Yeah, he eats
Right.
like raw meat.
Right. But
Like a raw carnivore, like
yeah, and he's
eats,
eating like testicles and shit. Like I'm gonna eat bull testicles and all this. And then of course it came out that he was fucking doing steroids like a motherfucker, which pretty much anyone with a brain already knew. But he lost all his credibility and shit. Anyway, I saw that now he's like looking like fucking raggedy as fuck. Like he still has his muscles, but he just looks like he's on fucking death's door, you know?
Oh shit.
He looks fucking horrible now. I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, some people like, dude, I don't know. Just some people can do that shit and look good for a lot, like just a lot of their life. And some people get in that shit and a couple years later just look absolutely like fucking train wrecks.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck is going on with that dude.
Eats testicles in a bowl of milk. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty fucking gross. Liver King got liver failure. I mean, it wouldn't fucking surprise me.
Too much vitamin A or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that's Scammers of History Volume 4.
All right.
Hope you guys enjoyed it.
Very
Learned
informative. Thank you.
Learned a lot about scammers today, and I think we're all a little bit wiser for it.
Amen.
Good night.
A motherfucking men.
Shit, what's this, TJ? What's
I don't
this? What's this?
Some kind of scam.
So, guys, we knew there was demand for this, but we were surprised. The VIP is gone. Gone.
Sold out.
And I've seen some people, oh, man, if I can't get VIP, it's like, look, I guarantee you if you come to this, it's general admission or not, unless you just don't want to meet one of us, which, I mean, hey, fair enough. You're like, Scotty's a piece of shit. I don't ever want to fucking see his nasty ass. But you want to meet TJ and Paul, I guarantee if you get general admission, you're still going to. Just VIP just gets in there earlier. I get a better seat. Sorry. So if you didn't get that, too bad, so sad. We're still going to have a good time.
No. You're going to have a terrible time.
All
Those
right, never
general
mind.
admission tickets fucking suck. Don't even
All right, well,
bother.
never mind.
It's too late. No, yeah, I mean the general admission tickets are probably like 90% as good as the VIP tickets anyway. So
How many VIP tickets were there to begin with? I believe we had 50. We decided, I think we went with like 50. I think the venue actually just picked for us.
yeah, I don't think we didn't even give them input. They just said like, yeah, we'll do some VIPs, and that's just how many they did.
Yeah.
So we were just basically going on like what the venue told us they had done with other acts in the past. So,
but I believe we've already sold about half the tickets. So if you guys are watching, you haven't picked up a ticket and you plan on going, you probably do it pretty quickly because I'm pretty sure this show is going to sell out probably sometime in early September, maybe a little bit past that.
we shall see.
We shall fucking see.
So get them while they're fucking hot.
Get them while they're fucking hot. Or don't.
Who knows? This might never even happen again. We could die. We could
True.
fucking die.
I've decided that you know, I'm too nice to people at these meetups, so I'm gonna be bitch slapping everybody that approaches me at the meetup.
That's pretty cool.
Paul, and one for you, but Paul, and another one.
I just want to let you know you changed my life, man.
Go tell someone who gives a fuck.
I don't give a fuck. Now go change your pants. I'm
Change your
fucking
fucking
Paul.
life again.
Fuck you, you piece of garbage.
Will Paul be twerking at the meetup? I guess it depends on how many drinks you can convince him to drink.
Yeah, you get me good and fucking drunk, and you know the twerking's coming out.
That's true. Every time I've seen Paul get drunk, he's like, "You guys want to see me twerk?" And we're like, "Not really." And Paul's like, "Too bad." It's
I'm just
twerk
hoping
time.
I'm just hoping I'm not as sweaty at this one. That last fucking meetup, dude, I was a sweaty mess.
I'll tell him.
Well, that was
fucking,
down the swamp too. I mean, it's almost impossible not to sweat down there.
They better crank up the fucking AC. If this fucking venue is warm and shit, they're gonna catch
Let's see
hell
what-
from me.
Let's see what Vegas is like in October. I've actually never been to Vegas. I actually went one time in late October.
It's not gonna be bad outside, but I'm inside with a bunch of bodies, all those people fucking, all those neck beards just like exhaling their hot ass breath into the
I
venue
feel
and
so
shit.
sweaty. Oh, yeah. All right, so I'm looking at October, and it says, okay. Oh man, that better not be fucking right. Okay, it's not. Okay, so the average it says for that time of year is 83. Oh, that's not bad. And the low at night is 50. Oh,
Fitty.
yeah. So we should be good. That's actually that's pretty good weather.
I'm gonna give them the fucking business if that venue is hot inside. I'm gonna be fucking angry, dude. They better crank that AC.
Yeah, when we go to the pre-show and meet people, we're like, look, we only have one concern. AC better be fucking cranked as low as possible.
I want to hire a bunch of chicks in like bikinis and face veils with like big palm fronds to like fan me wherever I go to.
That's
would
not a
be
bad
sick.
idea. Emperor Paul.
I think Paul's actually going to do this. Paul's charge 20 for a hug. Yeah.
Nah,
think-
man. Hugs are free, man. A hug is free.
Everything
Hug
else
is free love.
Well, that'll cost you.
Now, if you want me to speak to you, that's $20.
You walk up and like, can I have a hug? All right, get the fuck out of here, kid.
But I want to tell you my life story. $20.
$20.
Dude, no, that there I think
If
Paul
you
would make
expect me to
$1,000.
react back to it. And no one else is allowed to listen. Do's and don'ts of a DFF meetup. Don't worry, we have material coming your way.
Here's a
along
short
those
one.
lines.
Don't bring a fucking battle axe. There you go.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Yeah, don't be a retard. Did I try to excise that word from my vocabulary, but I've just given up, man.
Yeah, I can't do it either.
I never
think-
bothered to even try.
I think part of it was just like I've started to get like beaten down by like the language policing and shit, and I feel like I want to hold on to one edgy word that I can say, and I think retard is the least destructive one.
Yeah, because they're not even called retards anymore. Like mentally disabled, whatever the fuck they're called now. They're not called retards anymore. So how can it possibly be offensive to them? Like the word is no longer associated with them. So
True.
I don't when you say the word retard to me, I don't think of a fucking developmentally disabled person at this point. I think of a fucking goddamn like one of the army of retards out there in the world.
Yeah, I think of a dumbass.
I think of a stupid motherfucker that's just like really fucking annoying and obnoxious and detrimental to the universe. So
Detrimental to the universe. Fuck, dude. This is like retarded Thanos.
yeah. I think of Tim Pool. That's a good one.
Yeah. Tim Pool definitely qualifies. Actually would have been you know what? Next time we do a scammers episode, it'd be perfect, man.
Civil War.
We
Oh,
need to
there's
have
another
a
Civil War.
You know who I think of, dude?
Mm.
That fucking weirdo Styx Hex and Hammer, dude.
Oh, God.
That's the guy that I think of.
Man, I haven't
Somebody
thought of that
retarded.
motherfucker in a hot minute, but yeah, I can see that for sure. Yeah, I think probably like of Dave Rubin. Cause man, if I ever like seen a dude that I don't think has a goddamn thought in his head, it's probably Dave Rubin. I don't understand how that guy even summons words.
Dude, and talking to him back, we did that shit on DP. Like, I mean, one of the most boring people, and then also like smug at the same time. Like, astonishingly stupid, but completely and utterly full of himself. Which I think is just a combination that makes him just so easily. It's so easy to hate someone like that. When it's like, I'm dumb, I'm empty-headed, but I actually fucking think I'm a genius and I'm brilliant.
Yeah, because if he was smug as fuck, but he had like some kind of
Like
I don't
Christopher
know, like,
Hitchens was a smug fuck,
right,
but he was
but,
also
like,
super fucking smart.
if he could back it up even a little bit, it'd be a little bit less, of a total stain on his personality. But unfortunately, he can't back it up at all. Like, you're never
Not
gonna
even a little
hear
bit.
you're never gonna hear any original observation from that motherfucker. But one of the things I will say, I guess, in his favor is that because he's such a little wuss, he's not really aggressively stupid in the way that I would normally assign the word retard to somebody. But he is, at least at the moment, the first person that springs to my mind.
I mean, I think he has enough intelligence to realize he doesn't know what the fuck to do. So he's like, dude, he's like that fucking animal that stays in the middle of the herd. It's like the only way I'll be safe as long as I stay in the middle of the pack and I just watch what everyone else is doing. If I can do that, then I'll be okay. And that's kind of the Dave Rubin way of like getting by. Does the meetup party actually go all night? I mean, I wouldn't say all night, but I mean, pretty much till the venue is like time to go.
Yeah, I mean, we talked to the venue. Now we're guaranteed a certain amount of time at the venue. And I mean, the certain amount of time we're guaranteed would take us pretty late in the night. But the venue has told us flat out, like, if shit's still going and we're still making money, then they're not going to kick us out.
Yeah, the show ends when the money making stops on their part.
Basically, like, when y'all stop drinking and the venue is like, we're not making enough money to justify doing this anymore, that's when the fucking shit'll end.
Yeah, because they got to pay their people. So they ain't making that fucking cheddar. They're going to go, well, time to go. The lights come on and they play the get the fuck out of here music.
So basically, like, if anything, it just says, like, stagger your drinking throughout the night so that you guys there's still people getting drinks.
We got to talk
into
to
the evening.
we got to talk to our contact at the venue about our special drink because we actually are going to have a specialty drink for you guys.
I think we're gonna have a couple, maybe.
A couple, damn. I mean,
I got a couple ideas, maybe.
We'll going all out, TJ.
Might be a couple special drinks.
I mean, I would ask you who this guy is, TJ, but it's literally fucking labeled, so I think you know.
Is this dude
Leonardo DiCaprio, right?
Is this guy that Frank W. Abagnale Jr.? Is that who I'm looking at here?
No.
Correct.
It's Abagnale, TJ.
Abagnale.
It's Abagnale, TJ. What's up?
He looks
like
a
double scammer, dude. I love this guy. He scammed everybody and then scammed Hollywood.
That's fucking great because he
continues to scam to this day.
He's brilliant. I love him. He's like a great scammer. He's definitely one to look up to.
Oh yeah, I mean, and obviously a lot of people were first aware of the fact he wrote this. Well, I mean, it was ghost written. Let's be honest.
It's been a fucking huge. It was a huge hit movie.
Yeah, well, I mean, the movie's based on this.
Number one bestseller, but it's also like a super famous fucking film with Leonardo DiCaprio. Like,
yeah, I pulled the trailer of it just so, I mean, if people aren't aware of it, but this is a huge movie when it came out. I mean, this came out like I think Christmas 2002 was like a tentpole movie for like DreamWorks, I believe.
Yeah, it was one of the top grossing movies of that year for sure.
Welcome to Miami Mutual Bank. How may I help you?
I'd like to cash this check here and then.
Dude, what a fucking great scam.
Yeah, I mean, in real life, the motherfucker
who's
looks
gonna portray you? Who's gonna portray you in the movie?
He looks like Chevy Chase, and in real life, and then in this movie, he's played by fucking like Leonardo DiCaprio when he's still fucking super young and shit.
I mean, I know the three of us had a conversation like if we had a movie about our life, who would play you? And it's like, look at this fucking guy, and then it's like, yeah, Leo is gonna fucking play me. That's who's gonna fucking play me. Spot on, of course.
And I'd like to take you.
It'd be like if fucking, I don't even know who the fuck you could even say would. Oh yeah, we're making a movie of you, amazing atheist. We're gonna
Yeah.
cast fucking Zac Efron as you or some shit.
Yeah,
It's
Brad
like,
Pitt will play you, TJ.
well, Brad Pitt's pretty old at this
Well,
point. You
yeah,
know
how
what I'm
about
saying?
young Brad Pitt will play TJ? You know what I mean?
It's pretty fucking ridiculous. Benicio del Toro is Paul's ego.
I think that would work. I don't know why, but I think that would work. Man.
I think you're right.
Benicio could play me.
I think you're on. I think I'm onto something there, actually.
Yeah, I think that should be the perfect casting.
Jonah Hill, dude.
Jonah Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jonah Hill could. I think Jonah Hill could pull it off.
Let's see.
Are you a real life pilot?
I sure am, little lady.
The jump seat is open.
It's been a while since I've done this. Which one's the jump seat again?
Dr. Connors to the ER. Dr. Connors to the ER.
So establishing all this guy's outlandish claims. You know, he pretended to be a pilot.
He
Pretended to be a doctor.
Scammed his way through early fucking 20th century America or mid 20th century America. He's great.
This is irrefutable evidence that the defendant is lying.
Special Agent Hanratty, FBI.
Hello, Carl.
You're gonna get caught. It's like Vegas. The house always wins. Some nuts flying around the country posing as a pilot, calling the James Bond of the sky.
Hello, Pusher. This is by far the best date I have ever been on.
He's a kid. That's why he doesn't have a record.
That's why he doesn't have a record. He's a kid. Yeah, it's me. It's
There
me,
you go,
Tom
TJ.
Hanks. This is
Even
how I
cast.
talk.
Timothy
shit, yeah.
Chalamet.
Perfect.
Yeah, spot on.
I mean, it's like, yeah, you go look at me.
I'm sure.
You look at
it-
Timothy Chalamet. I mean, it's like the same dude.
I'm sure if Paul could pick anyone, it's probably P.S. Hoffman. I mean, obviously he's dead, so he couldn't play Paul. But I mean, I guess if you could probably pick anyone, that's what I would assume at least.
Yeah,
Paul would
Chris
pick.
Hemsworth can play you, Scotty.
I mean, that's not much of a stretch.
Pre-recorded reply. Damn it! You're not supposed
Stupid
to let
ass-
people know that.
Stupid ass Pope Dillweed, dude. What a fucking dork.
Is this a preview? All right, we're putting you in timeout.
I bet this isn't live. Drink milk. Pre-recorded reply. What a dumbass. Do you think he actually believed that?
No. He's just trolling.
Yeah.
Dude, laws, Paul's ego. I mean, if you're going by Spielberg logic, yeah, that would check out.
Yeah, that works.
Codeine every 4 hours. Do you concur? I concur.
Dr. Harris,
Yes?
do you concur?
Concur with what, sir? Ma'am, I'm sorry to have to tell you, your son is fudging checks.
I have a payroll check here I'd like to cash.
I'm working part-time at the church now. Just tell me how much yours and I'll pay you back.
$1.3 million.
I'll be choosing 8 young ladies to be a part of Pan Am's future stewardess program.
South America, Australia, Singapore. These are so perfect, the bank doesn't even know the difference. What do you
He's
want?
the best
Apologize.
check forger ever.
He forges
he's-
checks so fucking
He's
good.
so fucking good, even the bank can't tell the fucking difference.
He's forging. He's foraging? No, he's forging.
Fudging.
He's fudging checks. I got a joke for you. Knock, knock.
Old time Hanks.
Apologize, did you? You have no one else to call. I'm looking for your son.
I would never give up my son. If you were a father, you'd know.
Stop chasing me.
I can't stop. It's my job.
If you want me to stop chasing you, maybe you should stop fudging checks.
Origin for check. Based on a true story. As we'll see, I think next episode. Not at all fucking true.
Why not?
You see these people staring at you? They keep peeking
Dude, that'd be pretty cool to have Christopher Walken as your dad, though.
over their shoulders, wondering, where you going tonight?
Where you going, Frank?
Where you going, Frank?
Don't tell me not to fly. I've simply
Yeah, we're not going to play copyrighted music.
A little mouse fell into a bucket of cream.
Yeah, the 2 mice speech. He makes it the Rotary Club. I always love that. Imposter. Imposter. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. He's an imposter, TJ.
Look at this jackass, dude.
Is
How
that
did they-
Leonardo DiCaprio or is that?
How
that
did
the
he
actual
get
guy?
Leonardo DiCaprio to play him, dude? What the fuck?
Because he's that good of a fucking scammer, dude. He's that good of a fucking scammer.
Frank W. Abagnale Jr. TJ may have pulled one of the greatest hoaxes on earth. Abagnale's famous tale of forging checks and assuming different professional identities has captured national audiences through pop culture adaptations. Of course, the most famous one we just took a look at, the 2002 Steven Spielberg film Catch Me If You Can, starring fucking Leo and Tom Hanks. The fuck, dude? What a great scam. It was developed from Abagnale's memoir of the same name. But you didn't know that, did you, TJ? Because you can't read.
You already told us that.
Bet you didn't know that, TJ, because you can't fucking read.
I read the news on this show all the time.
TJ, Paul
What?
reads the news and I read the news. You can't read. You're
God damn
illiterate.
it.
You're fucking illiterate, TJ.
Don't tell people that.
Oh, sorry. TJ's not. You're almost illiterate. How about that?
All right, fair.
So here's how the story goes. Between the mid 1960s and the early 70s, Abagnale lived out many lives as an impostor. He pretended to be a pilot for Pan American Airlines, which of course is no longer in business. A doctor in actually, how does Trump? How did that article say it? Georgia.
Garogia.
Oh, Garogia. In Garogia. A lawyer for the Attorney General's office in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, boy. And a professor at Brigham Young University. Yeah, gets around. He also cashed more than $2 million worth of bad checks in over 26 countries. All this, he claimed, while he was still a little teenager and being chased by the big bad FBI.
Those bastards.
So, I mean, honestly, Abagnale has made so many fucking claims that I mean, the episode would be like 4 hours if we just literally fact checked every one. And obviously, I'm not personally fact checking it, but the people have looked into, obviously, the outlandish claims he's made about his past.
What if they're the real scammers? They're just like, we're just trying to take away.
Well, they actually have evidence, like, of a lot of the things they're saying. Like, when Frank claimed to be one place, for example, he was actually in prison. So he's claiming, oh, I'm here doing this. I was here doing this. And he was actually in police custody. So,
unless that was an imposter in police custody.
Okay, TJ, sure. I guess if they had an imposter in police custody.
I mean, you never know. He's a crafty son of a bitch, Scotty.
Maybe you're right. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't fucking there. I don't know.
Yeah, you just sounded very skeptical when you were, I told you my theory, and I don't see any reason for that skepticism.
You know? Okay. I mean, a known con artist lying to people. What a stretch. Abagnale, TJ, claims his first victim was his dear old dad, who gave him a gasoline credit card and a truck. And unfortunately, Frank ran up a bill amounting to $3,400. That's not nice to scam your dad. And of course, he was only 15 at the time. In his autobiography, Abagnale says, because of this crime, he was sent to reform school in Westchester County, New York, which is fits a description of a school called the Lincolndale Agricultural School, run by Catholic Charities USA. And in numerous interviews, Abagnale has claimed he attended an elite Catholic private school in Westchester, New York, Iona Preparatory School, through the 10th grade at age 16 in 1964. Unfortunately for him, his name is not mentioned. There's no mention of him there at the school. There's no photographs of him appearing in the school yearbooks for that time, for a school he attended. Also, no one who attended at the time can ever recall Abagnale attending the high school.
Well, I mean, a lot of that can be explained.
Okay, explain it.
All right. Well, first of all, the reason he's not in any yearbook pictures because he's out there living life. He's out there fucking, doing his scams and stuff. He's not going to school all the time, getting his picture taken. Same reason no one really remembers him because he was out there. He was so far advanced of those motherfuckers in that school. He was out there in the real world, fucking mingling with adults and shit. So that's why no one in the school remembers him. And as for why they deny his enrollment, it's because he fucking went on to become a legendary scammer, and they don't necessarily want to be associated with that because they're a fucking bunch of prudes. So they took him off the fucking rolls. They wiped him. They wiped every fucking trace of him off the, the records of attendance and shit. So
they knew in the future that he was going to be a scammer.
Well, they didn't know it. They didn't know it in the future. They did all this once that fucking all came to light.
So, but even the people who have gone to the school at that time period, the alumni, there's no record of him. I mean, like, so if he attended the school.
Well, yeah, because the records have been doctored, Scotty.
So post hoc, every record of him attending the school.
Why you keep saying it's got to be post hoc? You can't fucking alter records at one point in history. At one point in history, if you've gone back in time and look at these records back.
Well, I'm saying no one hadn't done any of these things at the time, so no one knew he was grew up to be this famous con.
Well, but they went back and altered the records, Scotty. They didn't
How would they get it? But so how would they alter the yearbook, for example?
Well, he was never in the yearbook. He was off.
How come there's no photographs of him doing anything at the school?
Because he played hooky a lot. He was barely even there.
There's no evidence he was ever even attended the school or was ever enrolled in the school.
The evidence is I take the man at his word, Scotty.
That's not evidence. That's faith, essentially.
I take the man at his word. I mean, I believe him to be a trustworthy man.
Okay, well, you're a fool then.
He has come clean, Scotty.
So during his many speeches and appearances on television, Abagnale has alleged many criminal exploits. Some of them being he was wanted at one point in 26 countries. He's worked extensively for the FBI, escaped several times from FBI custody. I mean, Keystone Cops for sure. He also claimed that he cashed over 17,000 bad checks, amounting to $2.5 million, and worked as an assistant attorney general and a hospital physician. In addition, he stated that he started a fake stewardess trainee program, traveling with them throughout Europe for 2 months, and logged over 3 million miles disguised as a pilot. All of these claims, or almost all of them, have been refuted by journalists.
Well, what, he wasn't. You trying to tell me he wasn't fudging checks?
No, he did. He did do that.
Let me tell you something, Scotty.
He definitely forged checks. That is one thing definitively we could say Abagnale did. He definitely wants a check forged.
You go. I mean, I don't necessarily know the nature of all of these investigators that have looked into this case and we found some discrepancies, blah 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 blah. There's discrepancies with fucking everything. Okay, just because you find some discrepancies, that doesn't invalidate what happened. All right.
Well, let's just go watch it all, TJ.
Go watch that movie.
Oh, go watch a movie. Okay.
Go watch that movie. Steven Spielberg. You know, one of Steven Spielberg's rare fucking examples of an actually good fucking movie from the fucking world's most overrated fucking director. You got fucking Leonardo DiCaprio. You got fucking Christopher Walken. You got fucking Tom Hanks doing a terrible fucking accent. It's fucking brilliant. And you know what? If you watch that movie, you know in your heart you're looking at the truth.
What?
You know in your heart.
In your heart?
Yeah.
Dude, that's some sappy Spielberg garbage right there.
Well, exactly. That's why he's the perfect director for this inspirational story.
Has Spielberg poisoned your brain? The same guy, schmaltzy crap. But the one,
yeah, but you know what?
The one time the schmaltz works on TJ.
Because you know what? It's a pure. This is
no one's chasing you anymore, Frank.
This is a story. This is a story where the Spielberg schmaltz actually works to the story's advantage because it's about the most American of all Americans.
You're a fucking dupe, TJ. You're one of the fucking dupes.
A fucking scammer, Scotty.
You're a fucking dupe, TJ.
He's a beautiful. He's a beautiful fucking. He's a beautiful man.
A fucking country. You know, fucking bumpkin.
I know. He put scamming behind him and told the whole truth in his "Catch Me If You Can," but you know,
in public lectures, TJ, describing his life story, Abagnale has consistently maintained that he was arrested. Guess how many times?
Yeah, I don't know. 106.
Just once.
Oh, only once, huh?
Only one time.
Wow, that's crazy.
And that was in Montpellier, France, TJ.
Okay.
That's the only time they ever got him.
Right.
However, I guess it's more of the deep state stuff here, TJ, or some.
I heard he was down there in France fudging checks.
Yeah, apparently he was. Public records show Abagnale was arrested in New York multiple times, California, Massachusetts, Louisiana, Georgia, or wherever you want to call it. Georgia, and Texas.
Okay.
So already his arrest record contradicts what he said numerous times publicly.
Scotty, I mean, and Paul will back me up on this, I think, because Paul's a storyteller too. I'm not saying that the motherfucker didn't pour a little hot sauce on his tail here and there. He wants to seem like he's so smooth he only got caught arrested once, but like, what did any of those arrests amount to? Did he spend any fucking substantial giant portion of his life in prison based on any of those arrests?
His early life, yeah, he spent a lot of time in jail.
No, he didn't, Scotty. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, some
right?
hot sauce, TJ, hot sauce.
Pour a little dash of hot sauce on
let's say you got
story.
some wings,
So
TJ,
what?
right? And
Yeah.
you pour a little hot sauce on them. It enhances the flavor. But if you just have an empty plate and you pour hot sauce on it and lick it up, it's just hot sauce.
Yep, true.
Scotty, motherfucker's got some wings, all right? The hot sauce is there to enhance the natural flavor of his 95.7% true story.
The public was laughed it up because they're a bunch of fucking dupes that want to believe this sensational story. That's what it is.
Do you mean to tell me? I mean, what's more likely here, Scotty? That this man really did what he said? Or that this man hoodwinked Steven Spielberg himself?
He's a con artist, so he hoodwinked them people.
Oh, Scotty, you'll just believe anything. You really believe he could get it past a sharp mind like Steven Spielberg's?
I mean, look, I'm sure Steven Spielberg knew that Abagnale was full of shit, but he wanted to make a movie, so he doesn't really care how accurate it is because he's telling a story.
Mm-hmm.
Steven Spielberg was not like, oh, I believe everything this guy said. He just knew it would make an interesting film, and he was right. So that's his job as a director.
I don't think that's what happened, Scotty. I think Spielberg was like, wow,
what happened, dude?
I must bring the truth of this man to a wider audience.
Yeah, I'm sure that was his thought process, not to make a bunch of money. So, despite public records showing Abagnale targeted individuals and small family businesses, Abagnale has long claimed publicly that he, quote, never, ever ripped off any individuals. What a nice guy. He made the same claim of never targeting individuals and small businesses to BBC journalist Sarah Montague and the Associated Press. According to Abagnale, the only individual he ever swindled was a Miami prostitute. And actually, we're going to play that story. It's actually a little thing with Johnny Carson we're going to play, which actually tells the story where he swindled the prostitute. So we'll just skip that for now. Not true, though, TJ. Individuals criminally targeted by Abagnale, however, describe the long-term consequences of victimization.
Was the thing with the prostitute in the Spielberg movie? Because I don't remember that.
It was, yeah.
That's pretty funny, then.
Actually, it was with the victim. This is Frank Abagnale with Charlotte Parks inside the Parks home in Baton Rouge in 1969.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a quote from her. He had a key to our front door. It was never recovered. We changed the lock. I fed him. I cooked. I don't trust people as much anymore. Charlotte Parks, Abagnale victim, interviewed April 27th, 1981 for The Advocate.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, damn, TJ.
What?
I never targeted individuals. Here's one he did.
So let me ask you this. Did the motherfucker go on do all these adventures or not? Because now you're saying he did do it.
No, the claim was, and he claimed publicly through many speeches that he never targeted individual people.
Yeah, but earlier you said he didn't even do any of the things he said.
I never did say he didn't do anything. I said most of the things.
Here he is off having his little adventure. This is just showing what a fucking top-notch scammer he is. So is this guy a legendary world-class scammer or not?
I mean, he is a good con artist. I mean, he had a movie made about his life. He had a New York Times bestseller.
I mean,
he
really
sold a bullshit story to millions of people who believe it is true,
but
they see the movie, they view it largely as real.
But doesn't the fact that he pulled it off show that what happened in the movie very well may be true? Because he is just that damn good.
Is it possible? No, it's actually not possible.
Scotty. Oh, it is.
No, it's really not.
No, it is, Scotty.
There's just overwhelming evidence that refutes his
overwhelming evidence, schmoverwhelming schmevidence, Scotty. How about nuh-uh? How about nah, bruh?
I mean, that's a good argument, but I don't think in Frank's case it's going to help him much.
All right, we'll see.
He claimed, TJ, that he passed the Louisiana bar exam. He worked for Attorney General Jack P.F. Gramillion and closed 33 cases. That's a lot. Damn, he was productive.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, this was challenged by journalists and other people who looked into this. No record has been found of Abagnale ever being a member of the Louisiana Bar. No evidence shows he ever worked as an assistant attorney general in the Louisiana Attorney General's office. In 1978, the Louisiana State Bar Association reconciled all those who took the bar exam and concluded that Abagnale never took an exam using his own name or that of an alias. The State Attorney General's office examined payments to all employees during the time Abagnale claimed he worked there and concluded that he had never worked in the office using his name or an alias. After Abagnale appeared on The Tonight Show, the then first Assistant Attorney General, Ken DeJean, gave a reporter a series of questions asked Abagnale about the description of the Attorney General, Gramillion. Abagnale failed to answer these questions correctly. So supposedly the guy he worked for, he couldn't even tell you what he looked like.
Was we ever hoodwinked by some teenager pretending to be a lawyer, y'all? No, just cover that on up. Cover that on up.
You know how Louisiana fucking politics is, Scotty.
You can assert there's a conspiracy, but that's not
I
proof.
mean, yeah, of course. I mean, I'm just saying, I mean, if you're going to call this man a liar, you certainly got to call
if he worked in the office, he
Louisiana
could tell you what
Bar
he looked
Association
like.
A liar.
He literally couldn't tell you what he looked like. Any of the aliases he used at the time, there's no record of him ever taking the bar, passing the bar, working for anyone.
You remember? Okay, Sky. When's the last time you went to lunch?
Today.
What's your fuck? What was what the hostess look like, or the host?
I went through a McDonald's drive-through, so I don't know.
What did the person who gave you your fucking order look like?
I don't remember.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
I also didn't claim to work for that
there
person.
There you fucking go.
That's like saying I went there for 33 days
you claim,
or years of my
Scotty
life.
Claims he went through the drive-through at McDonald's, but he does not even know what the person who gave him his order looks like.
Yeah, that's not the same as claiming that I was a member
Scotty,
of the Louisiana Bar.
Passed the bar apart for you, Scotty.
Passed the bar exam. Passed the fucking bar exam and closed 33 cases.
Your little house of cards is crumbling down.
Closed 33 fucking cases, but I can't tell you what the Attorney General looks like. Yeah, that makes sense.
Maybe he has prosopagnosia. You ever think of that?
The man is not an imposter. He is a liar. Kenneth C. DeJean, first Assistant Attorney General, the great imposter, April 24th.
I don't know if you know that.
1981, The Advocate.
Known liar.
All right, how about this one? Abagnale claimed when he was 18 years old, he worked for a year as a supervising pediatrician at the Cobb General Hospital in Marietta, Georgia. He maintained that he worked the midnight to 8 a.m. shift, supervising 7 residents and 42 nurses. Abagnale claimed that he would visit the university library to memorize medical journals and textbooks. And here's a quote from him. With my photographic memory, I could easily memorize anything.
Mm-hmm.
This does not mean I could comprehend it, but I could rattle it off verbatim.
Okay.
Abagnale told his audiences over the course of the year, as 1 year at Cobb General, no one doubted his position as a physician. There's another quote from him. So I made the rounds, picked up the clipboards, scribbled a few lines, initialed them, and everyone thought I was doing a fine job. However, hospital administrators told journalist Ira Perry that the hospital had no midnight 8 a.m. shift, nor did the position of a regular overnight pediatrician exist at the time. Using the records from the New York State Archives, author Alan C. Logan demonstrated that Abagnale was in the Great Meadow Prison in Comstock, New York, when he was 18.
I mean, I mean, this is exactly the same thing that happened in the last case. Just the hospital is embarrassed that they got scammed.
Oh, and the state prison was also embarrassed, so they just made his prison record up.
Yeah. I mean, look,
Man, this is a massive interstate conspiracy, TJ.
Well, look, if people realize just how easy it is to just walk into a hospital and pretend to be a doctor and how everyone will just buy it, then everyone, there's gonna be way more examples of people doing that. So they gotta fucking put it out there. Oh no, we would never be fooled by that. Oh, that never happened. Oh, we were never tricked. They gotta fucking lie to keep your confidence in the hospital going, so that you still believe that fucking doofus in the white coat that comes into the fucking room is a real doctor. So, come on. Obviously made up. I mean, obviously, these people are just covering their own ass. It doesn't even take a conspiracy. It just takes a bunch of people covering their own ass.
I mean, just a legion of people who are just covering their own ass left and right. Literally, Frank is.
Let me ask you this: you're the fucking.
All right, so you're saying he was actually there, pretending to have a position that didn't exist, and
according to who? According to this hospital that has a vested interest in lying to you.
What about the prison that he was at?
I mean, I don't know about the prison, but the hospital for sure.
So what? Why would the prison's not going to be embarrassed? There's a prisoner there, so that's.
I don't know about. Like I said, I don't know about the prison.
Well, that's been your answer for everything. So aren't they? They have to be part of the conspiracy because they claim for some reason they had him there. So why would they claim to have him there?
I mean, maybe they're working with the hospital. How do you know there's not a fucking relationship?
So a hospital in New York, not hospital. I mean, a hospital in Georgia worked with a prison in New York to make it seem like Frank actually wasn't there.
Yeah, I mean, like they probably just fucking,
Wouldn't they just go to a local? Wouldn't they go to a local jail and do that?
I mean, look, Scotty, if you're because they want him they want to place him as far away from their fucking hospital as possible. Would you pick the hospital? I mean, if he was arrested at the fucking, the precinct just downtown from where you're at.
I mean, I guess if you make up insane hypothetical after insane hypothetical that has no basis in reality and just said, could it be possible? Yeah, I guess it could be possible.
Let me just say this.
I guess it could be. I guess it theoretically could be possible that you're intelligent. Is it likely? No, but is it possible? Yes.
Put yourself in the hospital administrator's shoes, Scotty. This fucking story blows up. Oh, this guy wrote this book claiming that he fucking worked here for all these years and he tricked the fuck out of us and he was making the rounds and blah 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 blah. If you're the fucking person in charge of making sure that hospital is fucking successful and scandal free and all that shit, you're immediately going to get to work covering that shit up. You ain't going to come forward with some kind of statement about, what this guy did. Oh, we fucking got tricked. You're going to do everything in your power to make sure that you discredit that story. And so that's exactly what they did.
Oh, right, TJ.
They just did the exact same thing you would have done.
Now, whatever you say, TJ.
You just
Abagnale's claim.
So you wouldn't do that? You just be like, oh, well, I guess we got to take the hit. Guess we got to take the PR hit, you guys. Yep.
You fooled us all. In the 1970s, I don't think a bunch of people were super concerned about the hospital's PR.
Oh, I'm sure there were. You don't think they gave a shit about PR back in the 70s? PR was invented like in 1999 or something?
Not as much as they are now.
I'm starting to think you're right, Pope Dilly. I'm starting to think Scotty isn't on this conspiracy. How much does this hospital fucking pay you, Scotty?
They have not paid me anything.
Okay.
Abagnale's claim he impersonated a doctor, TJ, is not entirely without merit, however. On the University of Arizona... Well, wait, TJ, wait.
Okay.
On the University of Arizona campus in 1970, he stated he was a pilot and a doctor. According to Paul Holson, not our Paul, who was an older student and licensed commercial pilot at the time, Abagnale informed him that he was there on behalf of Pan Am to recruit and conduct physical examinations on candidates. In his autobiography, Holson claimed that after Abagnale's ruse was discovered, authorities informed him that Abagnale had indeed conducted physical exams on students. University of Arizona officials acknowledged that Abagnale had interacted with 12 female students. So, TJ, are you going to say he was embarrassed that he examined 12 female students?
What? Embarrassed?
I mean, that's been one of your excuses the whole time. Oh, well, people have been embarrassed. The officials there actually acknowledged this, TJ.
I mean,
so you can't backpedal on this one and say, well, they're
why would I backpedal on it? I mean, this is just a fucking another example of him doing exactly the behavior that he describes in his fucking tell-all book.
Abagnale has openly acknowledged that he performed examinations on young women while impersonating a doctor.
There you go.
When the girls came by, I gave them a thorough examination and sent them on their way. I was young but not stupid. In 2021, Louisiana State University Manship Chair in Journalism Robert Mann expressed his regret in not confronting Abagnale's claim of conducting physical examinations as a doctor. Looking back on my story about the event, Abagnale's lecture, I'm embarrassed by what I wrote about Abagnale's time as posing as a pediatrician. Reading those words now, in which Abagnale bragged about sexual abuse, makes me sick.
I bet it lends credence to his story, though, doesn't it?
I mean, in this case, yeah. I mean, it's pretty clear that it's something he did.
It shows that he fucking was out there pretending to be a fucking doctor, So who's to say he wasn't pretending to be a pilot? Who's to say he wasn't making the rounds at that hospital? Who's to say he wasn't doing all the shit that he claimed?
Well, he definitely impersonated people. That's, I mean, the other thing he questioned that he tried to con people.
So what?
Wearing
where's
different disguises.
Where's the lie then? Where's the fucking lie, Scotty?
Where's the lie? I mean,
where's the lie?
We've already exposed a number of lies.
I mean,
well, and also, you're trying to conflate the two claims together, TJ. The first claim is that he worked as a pediatrician for a year at Cobb General Hospital in Georgia.
Sure.
Garogia.
Sorry.
Garogia, yes.
And Garogia. Now, the other claim being presented here that actually is true is that he did sexually assault these female students at this university. That is true. If he wants to own up to being a piece of shit.
In both stories, he is pretending to be a fucking doctor and getting away and convincing people of it. I mean, like this.
Well, no, in the first one, he was in prison, so he didn't do that, TJ. Unless you can present actual evidence that he was doing that. Besides,
I mean, present me. Where's the evidence he was actually in that prison? Do we have inmates that recall him being there? Do we have something other than just like
there's New York State Archives?
Some guy like,
oh yeah, he was here totally the whole time. He wasn't up there doing no scam or nothing. He was down here with us.
Bullshit. You believe anything? You believe any damn lie?
I mean, then TJ, under that logic, there's no record you would believe because you could just say it was forged.
I mean, maybe it was.
TJ, how do I know you were born where it says you were born? Because someone could have forged that document, right?
I mean, maybe.
That's like you go somewhere.
Never,
Dude, TJ, I hope the next time you go buy a beer somewhere that the people selling you the beer have the same philosophy. Well, sir, you could have had this ID made 10 minutes ago. We don't know if you're actually of this age.
I mean, a little healthy skepticism.
So that level of skepticism, I'm sure if it was applied to your actual life, you would fucking fall apart immediately and say you did not wish that.
I mean, I think skepticism is healthy.
That's not conditions you would ever want to live under.
I think a certain. Look. I think.
Okay, so but by their reason,
they don't know exaggeration of
they
what
don't
I'm
know. They don't know you, TJ. So next time you go somewhere, I hope you're treated with the same level of skepticism that you're using with this case that we're discussing. That anything could be made up. There's a million reasons why someone could not want it to be true.
You're acting like there's not compelling reasons why these institutions would lie about what this dude got away with at their.
You don't need the compelling reason. He was in fucking prison when he was supposedly doing that. He didn't even have his own story straight.
Supposedly.
And again, if you question those official records, TJ, then by that same logic, any record you would ever give to anyone could be questioned.
I mean, you think so? If there's a piece of paper that says something's true, you just believe it automatically?
Doesn't mean you believe it automatically. But what reason would they have to lie about him being in police custody or
palms greased by that hospital trying to fucking cover
There's
up?
There's no
this
prison
bullshit.
that's going to be embarrassed to hold somebody. It doesn't make any sense.
I'm saying the prison was bribed by the hospital who was embarrassed. Probably just fucking slipped a fucking.
Oh my God.
Probably just slipped a few grand in the warden's pocket. Fucking, fudge a little record or two.
Okay.
Ooh, big deal. It's not that hard.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what happened. Abagnale has publicly claimed an IQ of 140. I have an IQ of 140 and retain 90% of what I read. So by studying and memorizing the bar exam, I was able to get the needed score.
Okay.
Do you believe he was a lawyer, right, TJ?
I mean, I believe that he convinced people he was a lawyer.
In 2021, Abagnale gave a keynote speech at the America Mensa conference in Houston. The organizers claimed he was the subject of an FBI manhunt and cashed millions of dollars worth of checks while impersonating a pilot and a doctor. Despite the claims of a photographic memory, when he was asked by USA Today journalist Andy Seller regarding details of his imposter roles and movements in the 1960s, Abagnale responded by saying, "Get to a point in life where you go, I don't remember what I did." So much for the photographic memory. And that's a direct quote from him, so I don't really know how you're going to wiggle your way out of that one.
I mean, it's pretty easy. I mean, look, the nature of memory is highly mysterious. So
he had a photographic memory.
I mean, he said he
could remember whatever he needed to. Then now later on in his life, he can't remember shit.
That information, he's like, look, I'm no longer living.
Isn't it
that
more
life.
likely that he's just had so many lies and said so much bullshit that he doesn't want to get caught in another lie? So he just goes, I don't remember.
Yeah, I mean, well, I think that he just doesn't fucking retain a lot of that stuff because it's no longer relevant to his life. Like, if he needs to memorize information, he can do it. He can memorize.
Well,
90%.
Next one, I'm sure you're gonna say they were just embarrassed. So let's just already.
No, I mean, I'm not saying who's embarrassed.
Well, I said for the next claim, I'm sure we'll just head that off at the pass. Well, Tita's going to say they were embarrassed.
All right, let's see who it is.
One of Abagnale's most notable claims was an alleged escape from the United States Penitentiary, Atlanta, in 1971. Here's a quote from him. I was in one of the largest maximum security federal prisons for 2 weeks when I impersonated a prison inspector and walked out right past the machine guns and guards. Frank W. Abagnale, ex-con, tells tricks of the trade, February 22nd, 1979, the El Paso Herald-Post.
Okay.
In 1982, Abagnale told the press, I was still, and still am, the only and youngest man to escape from that prison. The Federal Bureau of Prisons confirmed, though, that Abagnale was never housed in the Atlanta Federal Penitentiary. He was never admitted, so I don't really know how he could have escaped. So I'm assuming they escaped and they were just embarrassed and didn't want to admit it, right?
No, I mean, that's pretty unlikely. Scotty, that they would just, I mean, they're not just going to make up a fucking story about him not being at the fucking prison or whatever.
Yeah, he was never housed there, so how could he have escaped from it?
You know what I think really is, I think the case here is that he probably just changed the prison for his book. You know, he just didn't want,
Poetic license.
Yeah, I mean, he probably escaped from a slightly less impressive prison to escape from and just wanted to pour a little hot sauce on the story. I think the story is still fundamentally true, but probably he just lied about the exact prison. Probably just made it a more impressive. Like, it's like if he fucking scaled Kilimanjaro and he fucking lied and said it was Everest or something. And I was like, whatever.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, that seems plausible for a guy who's been caught and now, I mean, just hundreds of lies.
Yeah. I mean,
in 1978, according to people who have actually looked into the claims he's made. In 1978, after Abagnale had been a featured speaker at an anti-crime seminar, the San Francisco Chronicle reporter looked into his assertions. Telephone calls to banks, schools, hospitals, and other institutions Abagnale mentioned turned up no evidence of his cons under the aliases he used. Abagnale's response was, due to the embarrassment involved, I doubt anyone would confirm the information. He later said he had changed the names.
Scotty, you got to watch this.
What is it?
You got to watch this.
Quiet down, people. My name is Mr. Abagnale. Abagnale, not Abagnale, not Abagnale, but Abagnale. Oh, somebody please tell me.
See?
Oh, shit.
See?
I'm at Leo, though. That's not.
How dare you mispronounce Mr. Abagnale's name?
Abagnale.
You've been calling him Mr. Abagnale the whole fucking show, Scotty. His name is Mr. Abagnale, not Abagnale, not Abagnale. Abagnale.
Abagnale. He's Abagnale.
I like him. And I think he's telling the truth. A big nail. He broke into prison. They just kicked him out.
Further doubts were raised about Abagnale's story after an October 1978 appearance on The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson, with a news article saying, Abagnale, who the fuck knows how his name is indeed a convicted confidence artist. But he is finding willing believers as he promotes and invents a more varied criminal past. Stephen Hall, San Francisco Chronicle, Johnny is conned. Oh, shit.
What?
In December 1978. What's that?
What? Who's
Abagnale's in
conned?
Johnny
Johnny?
Carson.
Oh,
Johnny
Johnny Carson.
Yeah, I'll read it again. Further doubts were raised about Abagnale's story after an October 1978 appearance on on Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson, with a news article saying, Abagnale, what the fuck you say his name, is indeed a convicted confidence artist, but he is finding willing believers as he promotes and invents a more varied criminal past.
Known liar Johnny Carson.
Johnny is conned.
Known liar and sexual abuser Johnny Carson.
True. Johnny Carson Gina Carson's basically the fucking. I mean, you can't trust the words that come out of the motherfucker's mouth. You can't trust any of these people. Fucking this guy, whatever his name, Abernathy. He's the only motherfucker you can trust, Scotty.
That's the only one you trust?
Yeah. And you keep, I mean, like, you keep fucking.
I'm pretty sure he's still in business, CJ. I'm sure you could go hire him if you believe all this stuff.
I mean,
give him some money.
He's too expensive for me.
Too rich for your blood.
Yeah, but like, you know, I'd hire him in a fucking heartbeat. Motherfucker is one of the most trustworthy dudes you could ever fucking imagine. Okay.
In December 1978, Abagnale's claims were investigated after he visited Oklahoma City for a talk. As part of this investigation of the story, this is Ira Perry, spoke with Pan Am spokesman Bruce Hoxton, or Haxhausen, what a fucking name, who responded to the journalist inquiry by saying, "This is the first we've heard of this, and we would have heard of, or at least remembered, if it had happened. You don't forget 2.5 million in bad checks. I'd say this guy is as phony as a $3 bill." In 2002, Abagnale addressed the issue of his story's lack of truthfulness with a statement posted on his company website, which said in part, "I was interviewed by the co-writer only about 4 times. I believe he did a great job telling the story, but he also dramatized and exaggerated some of the story. That was his style and what the editor wanted. He always reminded me that he was just telling a story and not writing my biography." However, Abagnale made the primary claims of working as a doctor for a year, an attorney for a year, a PhD professor, and his several escapes on national television in 1977 on the show To Tell the Truth and The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson, which antedated the 1980 autobiography by several years.
I want to ask you a question, Scotty. Why are we even here right now then? I mean, like, the motherfucker has already made it clear. It was this lying ass co-writer and this lying ass fucking publisher that put all these lies in his book. So there's the origin of anything that's not true. It's them.
Yeah, but they just showed you he made the claims on television before that.
Yeah,
even
well,
happened.
but the claims he made on television were obviously true. But a lot of the claims that in the book that people have doubted, that's just those fucking
He
liars.
also made these claims in print media, namely the Fort Worth Star-Telegram, 3 years before the publication of his co-written autobiography, effectively nullifying his claim. His aforementioned co-author Stan Redding exaggerated the story.
Stan Redding, dude. I didn't know that Stan Redding was the fucking co-writer. If I'd have known that, a lot of this would have fucking made sense a lot earlier, because that dude is known to be pretty liberal with the hot sauce, Scotty. Stan Redding, I mean, yeah, it all makes sense. I mean, basically, what happened is this guy was John Abagnale, whatever the fuck. I don't remember his name.
Frank, DJ.
Yeah, Frankie boy. He goes to this fucking Stan Redding asshole. He tells him the fucking unvarnished goddamn truth. And of course, Stan Redding, being the fucking, hot sauce porn motherfucker that he is, dumps a fucking gallon of hot sauce on this shit. And then, what's Frank gonna do? He's got to go out there and fucking tell some of the same fucking stories. Because now otherwise, he's making the book. He's fucking gonna hurt sales of the book if he's disagreeing with the book. He's just trying to help the book succeed, because he knows there's a lot of fucking people relying on that book. So, yeah, I think
interesting you're saying this.
Honestly, he was kind of forced into some fucking. He's forced into telling a few little tall tales here and there, but I still think about 97.3% of the fucking story is true. There's just a little bit of hot sauce here and there.
Okay,
here and there.
We'll see. Despite Abagnale's website claimed about his autobiography, co-author Stan Redding.
Book. Thanks, Pope Dillweed.
Investigative journalist Javier Lavia discovered an obscure cover story of True Detective, January 1978, in which Abagnale told his life story. In True Detective, Abagnale claimed to Redding that he passed the Louisiana bar exam, worked as an assistant attorney general, and was employed as a sociology professor, worked as an Atlanta pediatrician, escaped from an airplane toilet, escaped from the Atlanta Federal Penitentiary, recruited the University of Arizona students, and traveled with them throughout Europe for weeks, and cashed $2.5 million in checks. These claims antedated by several years the co-authored autobiography, and also demonstrate that if it was Abagnale who invented the exaggerated his life story, not Stan Redding.
mean, I think
So, I mean, you just have you have example after example.
You're gish galloping around the fucking subject here.
Not gish galloping.
You're gish galloping around, Scott. You're just
it's
trying
been
to confound. You're trying to confound me
it's
because you try to move the goalpost here and there and every fucking where.
not moving a goalpost.
Oh, Scotty, that goalpost is fucking getting around. That goalpost is basically fucking doing laps at this point. You've moved that goalpost so many fucking times now. It's crazy.
The goalpost has never been moved. If anyone's moved the goalpost, it's you.
Where even is the goalpost?
The goalpost is fucking lost in space at this point, Paul. I don't even know where the fucking goalpost is.
I mean, you can't.
Scotty's moved it so many fucking times.
You can't respond to these arguments.
You know what?
Because you have no good arguments.
I've already responded to it. Obviously, yeah, the stuff that Frank said is true. The stuff that he did not say is false. The stuff that Stan Redding said is the stuff that's fucking.
He claimed that Stan Redding made the shit up, poured the hot sauce on.
Stan Redding did make a lot of stuff up, but now you're fucking conflating the stuff he didn't make up with the stuff he did make up.
Frank tried to fucking throw Stan Redding under the bus, and it was just showing that Frank's the one that made up all the shit.
I mean, if you fucking knew a goddamn thing about Stan Redding, dude, you would know that what you're saying.
I don't doubt that Stan Redding definitely poured some hot sauce onto the fucking story. But the basic tale was told to him by Frank.
Stan Redding is a fucking liar, dude. All right. I mean, I hate to say it because he is a talented co-writer, which is why Frank chose him in the first place. But the fucker is a liar. Okay. Come on. You know it. I know it. The Lord knows it.
The Lord knows it?
Yeah, the Lord knows it too, Scotty.
I guess you become a theist for the sake of this
Amen.
episode. In 1981, after criminal justice professor William Toney and his students debunked Abagnale's biographical claims, several universities canceled his appearances. In an attempt to provide compromise, the University of South Carolina asked Abagnale to sign an affidavit that would attest to the truthfulness of his biographical claims. The university informed him they would still be allowed to give the speech and collect a speaking fee, even if he did not sign the affidavit, but he refused, and the university warned students at the outset of the speech that Abagnale had not promised to tell the truth. Abagnale refused to sign the affidavit, referring to the document as a slap in the face.
Yeah, that's an insult. Imagine you were going to go give a speech. You're an expert on a fucking subject, and when you show up, they're like, sign this document that says you're not going to lie. It's like, motherfucker, fuck you. You know?
That's so crazy. Can you look, there's been a number of questions about your biographical claims. Would you just be happy to sign an affidavit saying
a number of questions by fucking people who are scumbags who are just trying to fucking destroy Frank Abagnale's whatever fucking name is.
Frank Abagnale.
Name. I can't remember his fucking name.
Abagnale.
Abagnale.
Even played the thing, not Abagnale.
Abagnale.
Not the other one. I don't know what the fucking other
Abagnale.
Abagnale.
Not Abagnale. Abagnale.
We should do inaccurate movies based on history. Yeah, I mean, look,
Braveheart. Oh, dude, then Braveheart's got to be the next one. If we decide to do that.
If it's not true, then why is there a movie about it? That's all I fucking want to know.
I know. Doesn't make any sense.
If it's not true, then why is it all up in a movie that I can watch? You know, that's all. That's where my fucking inquiry begins and ends.
It's because it's on the face of the story, it's pretty compelling. Obviously, I mean, it's a number of outlandish claims, and it does translate well to a movie. I mean, as a story, I think it's great.
Next, you're going to be telling me that Fargo it didn't take place and wasn't real.
It didn't.
Based on a true story, dude. Right there at the beginning.
The people that made it. The people that made it
based on a false story, based on a true story.
The people that made Fargo have admitted that it was based on bullshit. They just made it up.
I'll tell you what. You ever watch the Texas Chainsaw Massacre? You know, that's another
a true story.
Yeah,
that one actually is real. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre is real.
They let you know right at the beginning that that this is based on one of the fucking most gruesome crimes ever committed.
Some movies have some truth to them, and that's definitely one.
Blair Witch Project. Where'd those fucking kids go if it's not true?
Yeah.
Those kids are dead. Yeah, those kids are dead. I will give you that.
I mean, there's video evidence of a wolf. I'm sorry, not a wolf. A witch fucking killing them.
A wolf.
Yep.
So, yeah.
A wolf.
Fuck that. A wolf.
Okay, well, I mean, if we're talking about the Blair Witch Project, then obviously I believe that. But we're not talking about
okay, so you believe some schlock-ass movie like the Blair Witch Project, but you don't believe Steven fucking Spielberg?
The people that made...
I mean, I
the
attacked
students
guy.
that went to the woods to make that movie, TJ, were found dead.
It
I
just
mean,
goes
it's
to
a
show you
matter
the
of public
contortions
record.
they'll fucking do. Because when I fucking was sullying Steven Spielberg's good name on this show just a scant few weeks ago, you know, it was all I was getting all kinds of stuff. No, he's a genius. He's a brilliant man. But now he's just some lying schlub, fucking aggrandizing a con man.
I mean,
see
look at
how
him
it
right
is.
there, looking at his feet, TJ, because he knows he's a fucking bullshitter. Look at Spielberg right there. Look at his feet.
Yeah. Why are you pointing at his nose, Scotty?
I'm pointing at his face.
You
TJ.
fucking put the cursor right on his fucking nose there. What are you saying about? Look, that's Spielberg. You could tell by his big fucking nose. What are you saying, Scotty?
I mean, I'm having to
Are
point out
you
the man's.
engaging? I mean, like, are you engaging in anti-Semitism right now? I'm just going to put that forth. Are you
just
engaging in anti-Semitism right
No,
now on
I'm
this
not,
show?
TJ. And by the way, TJ, I've had an ancestry test recently, TJ, and I have Jewish ancestry, TJ. So I think
Press one if Scotty was being anti-Semitic. Press 2 if he was, if you know, it was just a coincidence. Okay. And 3 is for the manatee, obviously. I want to see what these people do. I want to know. Get your lazy. I know there's 100 people, 27 people watching this live right now.
I mean, look, just
I
because
wanna
I happen
see.
to point out that Spielberg has a very large nose. I mean, I don't think that makes me racist.
I see at least 1-1, Scotty. A Scotty fucking. I've seen a lot of ones now.
What the fuck?
Look at all that.
Dude, even Deep Fat Fried said 1.
Deep Fat Fried is all over the place on this. They fucking already. They said 3 and 1.
That's fucking messed up, dude.
I'm seeing a lot of 1s, Scotty.
I'm just pointing out. I mean, look, I just, you know.
Why was that cursor? I mean, like, of all the things you could have pointed at like, how many pixels are there on this screen right now? And you just happen to, as you're talking about this being Spielberg, just point at his nose. Just hover the cursor right above his nose. That's immediately where I'm going to fucking point at. That's immediately where I'm going to fucking park my cursor as I'm talking about this fucking, one of the finest fucking Jewish directors that we have, Scotty.
I mean, look, you just happen to point out that, I mean, look, you know, I'm just saying. He's looking down. And I mean, if you look down, and you're looking straight on, I mean, you happen to notice someone's, you know, got a very large nose.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is that such a bad thing?
I think we all know what's going on here, Scotty.
I mean, yeah, I think we do know what's going on, TJ. That I'm honestly, TJ, I have a lot of Jewish ancestry. I think you're personally attacking Jewish people right now.
And Steven Spielberg is looking down right now because he doesn't even think he's in this photo. He thinks this is just fucking, you know, Leo and Frank posing with each other.
Actually, I'll tell you, you'll spin this one. In 2002, at the Catch Me If You Can premiere, Abagnale conceded to journalist Andy Seller of USA Today that the impersonations in his autobiography were fabricated.
Mm-hmm.
I impersonated a doctor for a few days. I was a lawyer for a few days. In the book, it's like I'm doing this for a year. Despite this admission, in public speeches, Abagnale will return to his claims of a long-term impersonations of a doctor and working for a year as an attorney. Abagnale's fees for speaking about his alleged life story are reported to be between $20,000 and $30,000. Wonder what his incentive is. And then you have it from himself, TJ. I mean, not some other source at the premiere of this film, conceding that his autobiography was fabricated.
Well, you know what, Scotty? You know why that is?
Why? I mean, it's from him, TJ. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
because this man wants to teach. Like, what is his primary mission now in life? It's to teach the American people to be skeptical. Because now his whole thing is he wants to go around and teach you how to not be
some
scammed,
benevolent scheme,
how to not be conned. And what he's saying
by
with that,
conning people and making money off them,
by casting aspersions and doubt even on his own credible claims, what he's showing you is be skeptical even of me. And that's why, Scotty, if Frank Abagnale was here right now, he would walk right up to you and he'd shake your hand and he would thank you for putting his record under scrutiny, because he would be like, you know what, sir? You're exactly the kind of skeptic this great country needs, because you're not going to let a flim-flam artist pull one over on you, right? So I think
I don't know if I could say how you would react to it.
That's exactly what he would do, Scotty, because you.
How do you know that's exactly what he would do?
Because I know this man. I might not know his name.
Oh, you know him personally?
Now, I don't know his name and I don't know him personally, but I know his mind, Scotty. I know the mind of this man. I know the heart of this man. And you look at him right here in this picture, Scotty. You look at this man, you can tell this is a good-hearted man. It's a man who loves the human race. Okay? A man whose soul is overflowing with charity and compassion and love for his fellow human beings. So he's not going to fucking set you on the wrong path, Scotty. There was a time when he might have used his powers for evil, but now he is purely good.
In 2006, KSL journalist Scott Hawes challenged Abagnale with his claim that he worked as a PhD holding sociology professor at Brigham Young University, BYU, for 2 semesters. Abagnale claimed, of course, he could not recall the details, and that his co-author, Redding, had exaggerated some things. Hawes refreshed Frank's memory and showed him his own words, including the Catch Me If You Can book and the credits that rolled at the end of the film Catch Me If You Can, where Abagnale, not Redding, made the BYU professor claim. Abagnale conceded to Hawes that he might have been a guest lecturer. So despite claiming to be a sociology professor in at least 3 books, 2 solely written by Abagnale himself, and an on-camera claim following the movie, it appears Abagnale as a BYU professor is mostly or entirely just another fake.
This is just an example of where he was taken out of context by this guy. Because, he threw up his hands in exasperation, just said, he just wanted to end the conversation. And he was just like, you know what? You're right. I was just a guest lecturer, very sarcastically. And of course, this guy's like, oh, stunning admission, because he's fucking a piece of shit journalist that likes to fucking lie, that likes to fucking sell deceit to the American
It was Frank's
people.
own words he used against him. And the
Yeah, it was
credit in
Frank's
a
own
movie
words,
that he
but
saw.
it was Frank's own words said in complete fucking sarcasm and dismissiveness. Obviously not intended to be taken as fucking
the
face
record he
value.
used and the assertions he used, TJ, was that Frank made those claims to be a professor.
Because Frank was. He was he posed as a professor for 2 semesters.
Leading up to 2020, author Alan C. Logan conducted an in-depth investigation for a book that focused on the perspective of Abagnale's victims. As part of this process, Logan combined earlier newspaper articles, numerous administrative documents, and public records that had not been subject to the scrutiny by major media outlets. Based on these documents, Logan provided a timeline that challenged the overall truthfulness of Abagnale's self-described criminal history and movements between 1964 and 1974. Logan maintains that his investigation found that Abagnale's account of his criminal past, for the most part, is a fabrication. Using records of the New York State Archives, Logan showed that Abagnale was in Great Meadow Prison in Comstock, New York, between the ages of 17 and 20. The exact dates are July 26, 1965, and December 24th, 1968. So I guess he got out for Christmas. That's nice. As inmate number 25367, the time frame during which Abagnale claims to have committed the most significant scams. Oh, well, TJ.
He's just a double dip scammer, dude. I love him.
He is. Now I've given him a lot of shit, but I will say, look, he created a compelling story, and a lot of people, I think, especially when we see the Johnny Carson clip we're going to show, you'll see what, people light this shit up. 100%. Obviously, his scams don't hold. TJ can claim all day long he believes this shit. He doesn't.
I came up with a little poem about
in Frank's honor.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me see if I can remember I didn't write it down or anything, so I'll just see if I can remember the exact lines here. Pure of heart, forthright, without fail, there has never been a more honest man than Frank Abagnale.
Wow.
Yeah.
Move over, Lord Byron.
That's from the heart, Paul. That's from
Move
the heart.
over, Lord Byron.
Move over all of them.
Shakespeare, Robert Frost, Walt Whitman, any of these people of note.
Fuck off and die, all those fucks.
These
they are
poets
mostly
are
dead.
nothing. Yeah, they are.
And I think it's true. I not only are they beautifully chosen words of pure poetry, but they happen to be true. They happen to convey a message of pure truth. Lard Byron, dude. That's
maybe
fucking great.
that.
Got him.
That's fucking great.
Various media outlets have asked Abagnale to respond to Logan's book content, which included victim statements and citations to publicly accessible records. Abagnale has responded by stating that the book is, quote, not worthy of a comment. Abagnale told the press, I was convicted on $2.5 million worth of bad checks, and that he later hired a law firm to get all the money back to hotels and other companies. Federal court records, though, show that Abagnale was convicted of forging 10 Pan American Airlines checks in 5 states, Texas, Arizona, Utah, California, and North Carolina, totaling less than $1,500. Following his parole on February 8th, 1974, he claimed that he worked for the FBI, but after that date, Abagnale was arrested for theft at a kids' camp in Friendswood, Texas, on August 29th, 1974. There's Frank. There's Frank. And in this one, he actually, I don't know if it mentions it in my research, but I believe he was caught for stealing camera equipment.
Yeah, I don't even think that's him, dude. I mean, I'm looking at the guy. That doesn't look a goddamn thing like him. Does that look like Leonardo DiCaprio to you?
No.
Yeah, I don't even see a resemblance, so I don't know who the fuck this is.
Frank Abagnale Jr.
Not based on any picture I've seen.
Okay. Looks pretty similar.
Not it doesn't look very similar to any picture I've ever seen.
Think you might need to get your eyesight checked, DJ.
I don't know. It doesn't look like any picture I've ever seen of the man.
There's another one, TJ. In many interviews and speeches, Abagnale has claimed that he earned millions of dollars from his patents. That's nice, right? You come up with an invention, you get it patented.
Well, I mean, that was obviously made up. I mean, no, he didn't do that.
The United States
that was a little hot sauce, Scotty.
United States Patent and Trademark Office website, to the contrary, does not list Abagnale as a person or Abagnale and Associates as a business as a holder of any patents, and neither are listed as an inventor of any patent. In his check designing patents, Canadian inventor Kaylin A. Sandrew merely mentions the background section of the invention of that KPMG and Abagnale and Associates.
You know, if anyone wants to scour old photos for pictures of Scotty that might be in them, you know, I'm pretty sure you might find some interesting things.
Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, using this very same technique, you know, just take a picture that doesn't look anything like a person, then blow up a picture that looks kind of like
just
him.
like Frank, just like him.
I mean, it doesn't look a goddamn thing like him, and then like, who are you fucking kidding? Who are you fooling with this? That fucking is that? I mean, like that
well, he was also arrested at this place, TJ. So
I mean, yeah, according to some bullshit fucking faked out record. I mean, like, there's people in this crowd who don't even have fucking faces, dude.
But
look at that third person from the top.
So
they don't even have a fucking face.
If
you see, this is a real photograph, where's that person's face?
They're blurred. If you watch the movie Catch Me If You Can, also remember it claims that Frank, you know, basically came up with several designs to help obviously prevent check fraud. But if you look at that person who actually gives him any sort of credit, it's just saying that Frank's company essentially affirms that check fraud is a significant problem. That's it. That's all they do. Oh man, TJ, just gets worse and worse for you defending this guy.
I mean, I'm just looking at this photo right now. You say their faces are blurred. I mean, like, how come some faces are blurred and some faces aren't? Because there's other people in this photo whose faces are clearly not blurred. So what's going on with this photo? I mean, this photo has been heavily doctored, demonstrably. So I don't believe it.
I mean, but Frank's picture is not, and that's who we're interested in.
And I don't even think, I mean, that doesn't even look like his picture. I mean, I don't even know who the fuck that is. That's young Frankenstein, maybe. I don't fucking know.
In 2022, investigative journalist Javier Lavilla independently obtained the public records first sourced by Logan. He confirmed that Abagnale was in prison between 17 and 20, then convicted for theft in Baton Rouge in June 1969. Also, he obtained federal records connected to Abagnale's Pan Am checks and confirmed that his conviction at 22 years old was based on amount less than $1,500. He also calculated that between 1965 and 1970, Abagnale was only free for a matter of months, and that his records show he was in prison most of the time. Oh, damn, TJ. So the time he was doing all this stuff.
Who's the source on this again?
It is investigative journalist
Lavia, dude.
Javier Lavia.
Javier Lavia.
Oh yeah, I know about Frank Abagnale, man. Yeah, he's in prison that whole time, man.
What is this
Whatever
accent?
you say, man.
Yeah, it's fucking exactly.
You accuse me of
Some
racism, then you do like the
Some
worst,
untrustworthy fucking
the
character,
worst
Scotty.
possible stereotypical Mexican or
Dude, that was fucking. That's how fucking Javier Daca
I am
sounds, dude.
Javier.
That's how he fucking sounds. I don't know what to tell you. I was doing I wasn't trying to do a racist accent. I was just doing a fucking accurate accent of how that motherfucker talks.
Here's some more evidence against Frank.
Oh, someone wrote a fucking like words on a piece of paper. Okay.
This is actually Brigham Young University.
So
the chairman, I guess, of the person they wrote to says that there was no record of this.
So this is a Mormon university, correct?
I would assume so.
So this university teaches that the doctrine of Mormonism is like true and shit.
I've never attended the university. I can't tell you that.
I mean, but you know, as a Mormon university, it's like kind of goes with the territory. To
Universities teach a number of things. So
sure, but I'm sure that they also, their official stance is that Mormonism is true.
I don't know.
So you're gonna say that a fucking Mormon university that fucking believes in magic underwear is telling you the truth about this?
Yes, they could have.
Well, then why don't you
both those positions?
Why don't you just fucking? Why aren't you a Mormon then, Scotty? Because apparently they can't tell a fucking lie.
I'd never made that claim.
Why don't you fucking just crack open the
That's a classic straw man, TJ. I've never made that claim.
Crack open the fuck. Okay, so are they trustworthy or not trustworthy?
Pursuant to your letter and request for information concerning Frank W. Abagnale.
The goalpost continues to fucking.
This is about the 15th request over the last couple of years for information about Frank Abagnale. We have carefully reviewed university records, interviewed faculty members, former and present, and we can find absolutely no trace of evidence that Mr. Abagnale was ever associated with Brigham Young University.
But we did find a bunch of evidence that Native Americans or the original what was that?
Like Jesus preached to the fucking Native Americans and shit.
The Native Americans are the original Jews, the lost tribes of Israel.
Right, but we can attest to that. We found plenty of evidence for that bullshit.
Frank Abagnale never attended here, and a dude stared into a top hat and saw the truth of the universe.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you can hold both those positions.
Well, that's just who you're putting your faith in, Scotty. I'm just letting you know.
I'm not putting my faith in it. They said they
takes a lot more faith to believe that Frank Abagnale
interviewed
is a liar,
faculty
Scotty.
members, former and present, and they could find absolutely no trace of evidence that he was ever associated with the university.
Okay.
So here's actually the guy, TJ. You said that he had a stereotypical. So I think he actually talks in this. So you said you know what he sounds like. So hopefully he sounds just like I am going to interview Frank Abagnale.
So sound like Arnold? What the fuck?
You the impression you did kind of made him sound like a Mexican Arnold.
Okay.
Las Vegas, Nevada, and I'm about to confront Frank Abagnale.
They dubbed over this with a white guy.
Lying about his entire life story. He was in prison.
No, listen, Sky. They dubbed over this dude with a white dude.
His face.
Oh my God! Look, it's literally a copy of the prison record.
Oh my God, that's so fucking fake. Look how fake that is.
Oh, that's completely fake.
I mean, you could just that's like a bad movie prop, Scotty. I can't believe you'd actually look at that and think that has any credibility.
Let's see what he says.
So for 6 years, you evaded the FBI, pretending to be a pilot, a doctor, a professor. But how were you able to do that if you were like sitting in prison the whole time?
When this was all, I went to prison for all those things. Going to work with the FBI was after I came out of prison.
But I have your prison records right here, and clearly it took place when you were supposedly doing all these adventures.
Came over a period of time, not predicted in the movie. I had nothing to do. I didn't write the book. I didn't make the movie. I didn't have it.
Wait a minute. So you didn't write the book? He's listed as an author of the book.
What's that?
I mean, he's listed as an author on the book. Look, I didn't write the book. I mean, so Frank just said that. Let's see here. Well,
it says with Stan Redding, Scotty. With Stan Redding. I mean, come on.
I mean, he was involved in the creation of the book, though, right?
And we've already gone over this topic a million times. We know exactly how Stan Redding works.
Like those are people's
What the plague? He means the play.
views of what I did or didn't do at that time.
I'm in Los.
Amen.
Hey, SA, you say that you did all this stuff, but I have your prison records. They say that you in prison. How you do all that from prison, SA?
And then Frank explains cogently, intelligently, and articulately. And I don't know why
that
Scotty...
was 2 separate periods of time that coexist in the truth of the matter, you know? I think you're lying, SA. I think you're fucking lying, man. Oh, you know, you're not entitled to your opinion, but, you know. Are you such a liar, man?
I think
so.
It's
TJ,
beautiful.
here's a question.
Okay.
How accurate is the film and musical to your real life? I'd say
Very
it's about
accurate.
80% accurate.
Yeah, 80%.
Spielberg told me that as this was getting started, that you can squeeze 5 years of someone's life into a 2-hour film without taking out some details. The film changed my family structure, some of my impersonations, omitted prison time I served in Sweden, and my escape from federal custody, which he somehow did when he was in custody. Oh, wait. No, I'm sorry. He was never in that prison. But TJ says, well, they were too embarrassed to admit that he escaped or something. What was it you said?
So I see
no, he escaped from a lesser prison.
I see the question below there. He's asked if he's remained friends with the FBI agent that caught him. He says his real name is Joseph Shea.
Oh,
has that guy disavowed this?
Oh,
stuff?
you think? Oh, so you're gonna go? That's what you're hoping.
I'm just asking you a question. Has that guy disavowed all this or what?
Well, we're gonna get to that in a second.
Okay,
that's actually a big part of a lot of Frank's claims is that he worked extensively with the FBI, right? I mean, you even showed in the movie. He's in prison. He's doing his time, and they say, "Frank, we need you. We got a paper hanger, Frank. We got to need you to come here and solve the case for us, Frank."
Right. Because they know he can, the crimes he committed, he can now reverse engineer those crimes and figure out who else is doing shit.
First, though, TJ, got a little clip of Frank. This is him on this night show with Johnny Carson. He's going to tell a story about the time he swindled a prostitute.
Okay. They were giving for the mayor of Miami at the mayor's home. And while I was there, I ran into a gorgeous model, a well-known model at that time.
Hey,
and,
Scotty. I just want to clarify something before we move on. Okay. So is this actually a clip from the Johnny Carson show, or is this a clip of Leonardo DiCaprio reenacting this moment?
No, this is from his original appearance in, I believe, 1978.
Okay, because this is very hard to tell. I mean, obviously, with some roles, some actors, you know, it's very difficult to tell the difference between the two. And this is one of those cases. I wasn't sure if I was looking at Leo, if I was looking at Frank. So thank you for clarifying that.
One of the guests came over and said, kind of have to watch her. He said, if you were thinking about taking her back to your room this evening, it would cost you a great deal of money. So watch yourself.
A lady's evening. Yeah.
Right. So when I got talking with her, I said, how much would it cost me to take you back to my room for the rest of the evening? And she said, well, how much do you think I'm worth? Being 18, I had no idea how much she was worth. But I
remember at this time, Frank was actually incarcerated.
About $50.
But I offered $300, and she said, no, that's
I'd go back to your room with you for $300.
She said, that's a little bit too low. So I said, okay, well, what if I doubled it and made it 600? And she said, well, that's a little more like it. I said, I'll tell you what, we'll be here all night. I tell you what, why don't you just take me back to your hotel room for 2 hours? and I'll pay you $1,000 in cash in advance. She said, let's go. So we went back to her hotel, and she was opening her door, and I said, now I'll be right back. She said, wait a minute, where are you going? I said, well, I don't carry $1,000 on me. I'm going downstairs in the lobby, cash a check. I'll be right back. She said, this hotel isn't going to cash a check at this hour of the morning for $1,000. I said, first of all, I own 35% of this hotel. Never been in it in my life, of course. And I said, this is a cashier's certified check. I said, just like gold, they'll cash it. She said, let me see. This is a cashier's check. Why don't you just make it out to me? I said, are you crazy? I said, this check is for $1,400. We already agreed on $1,000. So she gave me 400 change, and that's what it cost me.
Oh, shit. Not only he got $1,000 prostitute to pay $400 to sleep with him, Scotty. The ultimate fucking scammer.
But he just said I was 18 at the time, and we know that Frank was actually in custody at the time doing time. So Frank could not have possibly been there at the age he claims in the story.
Do you think a person could make up a story like that, Scotty? Only a man who would live that could fucking possibly regale you with that story.
Think about the pop he got. Think about that audience reaction.
Yeah.
Because it's fantastical. So it sounds, oh, wow, this guy swindled a fucking high-end prostitute because he was such a good con artist.
At a certain point, Scotty, you either choose to be a non-believer or you choose to be a fucking believer, okay? And you're just at that point.
Not to believe.
Yeah, you're just at that point where you've just made up your mind. You've blinded yourself.
I'm just going to get a drink, TJ. Just whatever line of bullshit you're going to have, you can go ahead.
There's no line of bullshit here. There's no fucking line of bullshit.
I'm sure it'll be really convincing.
I'm not trying to convince anyone of anything. All I'm saying is there comes a point where you either choose to accept a man at his word or you choose to follow some path of just like, I'm skeptical of everything. You know? And I think
this guy's a fucking liar, man.
I mean, I think he seems like a trustworthy guy, Jose. I don't know.
Nah, he's a liar, man.
Why?
Because I'm Jesus de la Garza, man. I looked into this shit, man.
You did?
This guy fucking lied, man.
Well, that is a pretty compelling argument, but I don't know. I wish Scotty would have just fucking said some shit like that. Bastard stole my cashier's check. Yeah. I like it.
Oh, TJ.
Yeah, what's up?
TJ with the extended fucking kayfabe trying to drive Scotty insane, dude.
What kayfabe?
I think he's on the verge, dude. I think you've got him on the fucking verge.
I don't even know what you're talking about, dude.
You've got him on the verge of a fucking full-blown meltdown, TJ.
I don't think so.
You push this a few more times and he's gonna rage at you for sure.
I don't think so. I mean, why would he? I'm just speaking the unvarnished truth of fucking Frank Abagnale, dude. I mean, so you're telling me, Paul, that you don't believe either?
No, I don't.
No, why not?
Because I don't think a person can be simultaneously in prison and having a whore pay him $400. You know,
I don't know.
Pretty sure that's not a possibility. It's not a thing that you can do. You know,
I mean, there's a lot of fucking ifs in that statement, Paul. You know.
Yeah, right, TJ. A prostitute is going to trust some guy she doesn't know with a cashier's check to assume that he's not at all going to scam her.
So you think this guy can fool the whole world, fool Johnny Carson, fool this audience, fool everybody, but he can't fool a fucking prostitute?
I think people believe what they want to believe, TJ. I think it's such a fantastic
And that's exactly
story.
how he's fucking tricked that prostitute.
How did he do it from prison?
Yeah. Number one, how did he do it from prison? But number two, even
was he in prison? I mean, we don't know. We don't know for a fact he was in prison.
Let's even say that Frank did meet this prostitute.
Mm-hmm.
Why would a prostitute accept a check over cash?
Well, because of how he set it all up, Scotty. If he had tried to just get that deal straight up, of course she wouldn't have done it. But he had to manufacture a set of circumstances where it makes it seem like it's her idea, you know?
I mean, I'm not saying that's impossible, but that's actually a really stupid person.
I mean, you'd be surprised, Scotty. You know, you set up the right fucking series of events. You know,
I think prostitutes, TJ, generally operate as a cash business. I don't think they trust in the. Oh yeah, this
generally, but we're talking about a high-end, you know, Paris prostitute. You know, works $1,000 for 2 hours.
Supposedly took place in Miami.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, they said, didn't he say something about Paris in this story? I thought he said something about Paris. Oh well.
They said he was at the mayor of Miami's home at some political event, and that's where he met this prostitute. Supposedly,
I don't know why I thought it took place in Paris, but anyway, yeah, she's still a high-end prostitute in a fucking big metropolitan area that's you know at the mayor's house. So this is not your fucking average streetwalker or something, you know.
No, the story doesn't. I mean, the details of the story.
And this is, you know, I mean, what is $1,000 in this money today? I mean, like that's probably like $2 or $3 grand by now, right? You know, so
dude, what about internationally known truth teller and mega journalist Guadalupe de la Garza Fuentes, who found his prison records?
Yeah.
What about him? So he's a fucking giant liar, TJ?
I mean, I don't know what his
internationally known super journalist Guadalupe de la Garza Fuentes found the prison records that prove that this was a fucking lie.
I mean, okay, so I will say that is maybe a little bit of compelling evidence because it was discovered by, you know, Rodrigo Sanchez.
Guadalupe de la Garza Fuentes, TJ.
Oh, sorry, my bad. I got his name a little messed up there.
Jeez.
Sorry, Sky. How about this FBI agent? You said you were gonna fucking respond to that. Where's that?
Oh, it's not just one thing we have to respond to.
Okay, gotcha.
One of Abagnale's most controversial claims is his relationship with the FBI. In 1977, when Abagnale began claiming a 5-year uninterrupted life on the run, involving, of course, in his numerous scams, he did not claim he worked for the FBI. So all the time during that time period, he never claimed, like, I'm working for the FBI. He made a lot of other fantastical claims, but he never made that claim. He did, however, leverage the names of FBI personnel to bolster his new biographical claims. In 1978, journalist Ira Perry determined that Abagnale and his publicist were giving out the names of FBI agents to any party that asked for references or verification of his claimed biography. In particular, they gave out the name of Robert Russ Frank, whom they claimed was the former Atlanta agent who knew all about Abagnale. When Perry contacted him, he had just retired as head of the FBI's Houston division and had never worked in Atlanta. And Frank told him that damn Abagnale uses my name all over the place, but I've never even met the guy.
Damn. That's pretty damning.
After the publication of his 1980 autobiography, Abagnale began to inform his audience that he was on the FBI's 10 most wanted fugitive list. He carried this claim into the 90s. Here's a quote from him. I was the only teenager in the history of the FBI to be put on their 10 most wanted list. This told this audience is in 1994. And leading up to the release of the film Catch Me If You Can, this 10 most wanted fugitive claim was used in marketing for the film. Pressed on his claim when the film was released, with evidence clearly showing the absence of Abagnale on any most wanted list, he conceded on his website that he was never on the FBI's most wanted list.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, he got a little too fucking enthusiastic, said something that wasn't quite true, and immediately retracted it, Scotty. So what?
Yeah, it doesn't demonstrate a pattern of behavior.
I mean, so according to you, then his pattern of behavior is that when he fucking realizes he's put on a little too much hot sauce, he pulls back and he says, "You know what? I'm sorry, that wasn't true."
Well, there was just no way for him to back up that claim. They just had every most wanted.
I mean, according to you, he can't back up a number of claims that he still maintains. So why would that one be any different?
I think it's just because there's clearly, you can just look at the FBI's most wanted list and it's unambiguous that he was never on it.
Right. So you're saying all these other instances are ambiguous then?
I mean, to a degree, some of them are.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
I mean, I don't have absolute certainty, but I mean, and at least in the sense you're talking about, like, was I actually physically present when he was incarcerated and saw him incarcerated? I wasn't even born, so no.
I mean, I never asked something ludicrous like that, Scotty. I don't even know where you're
It seems like you actually would. I mean, it seems like that's the only standard of evidence you would actually accept, TJ, is that you had seen him literally put in shackles, brought to the prison in front of you.
I've been the one who has been. Look, this. You say that there's no standard of evidence I would accept, but here's the standard of evidence I will accept.
Okay, what is it?
Words of steel from an honest man, Scotty. Like Frank Abagnale, dude. Words of steel. Words that you can fucking set your watch by, Scotty. Words of cold, hard truth. I'm not saying there's no hot sauce poured on. I'm not saying there might not be a little exaggeration here and there.
Hot sauce.
What I'm saying, though, is fundamentally, at the end of the day, when you hear Frank Abagnale speak and you hear him tell his story, you just believe that shit, Scotty. You know it's true.
You're a fool. Then you're a fool.
You just know it's true. Oh, so
you know it's true.
Oh, so 1 second I'm way too skeptical, won't believe anything for evidence. And now, when I tell you the very simple standard that you have to meet, words of steel from an honest man, is now you're an idiot. You just believe anything. Make up your mind.
Words
Scotty.
of steel. I think I've been pretty much consistent, TJ. You're the one that's been wildly.
Words of fucking
words of steel.
Yeah, good old fucking Duke Nukem, man. Words of steel.
Words of fucking steel, Scotty.
I'm here to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of gum. Eat shit and die. I've got bowls of steel.
I agree. Put Frank Abagnale on Mount Rushmore, an American fucking legend.
I mean, if we were more honest about our country, we probably would.
He belongs there.
In 2002, LA Times journalist Bob Baker reported to the FBI no FBI task force was ever set up to catch Abagnale, despite his claims he was living in the infamous Riverbend Apartments, supposedly eluding the FBI for 1 year as a pediatrician in suburban Atlanta. The newspaper report of Abagnale's arrest indicated that he had been in the area for only 2 days. Local FBI agents responded to a tip that Abagnale was in a local hotel and arrested him there. Doesn't sound like a year being a pediatrician, does it?
I mean, why? Because some motherfucker told a story?
Well, I guess that's one way to look at it. I mean,
who,
the fact there's an
let me ask
arrest
you this.
record.
Who can tell me these facts with the word of steel, Scotty?
Okay, dude, I'll get Duke Nukem to come tell you.
Who
all this
can
shit,
fucking
TJ.
Give me a man that can come to not fucking just regale. Oh, according to this article, who can look me dead in the eye, Scotty, with confidence and pizzazz and charisma, and tell me this shit isn't true?
Someone said cannot tell a lie. TJ making Scotty mad. It's so sad. All right, dude. Bye bye.
Now he's mad at you.
You're right.
That guy was
Bye.
really dumb. I'm not sad to see him go.
Pope Dillweed, you're a fucking retard.
Scotty hasn't excised it either.
Oh, I never even claimed I wanted to. In September 2022, retired FBI agent Alan Brown obtained permission from the FBI headquarters to discuss his arrest of Abagnale. Brown spoke to investigative journalist Javier Villa. Acknowledged that the Atlanta field office simply acted as a teletype request to pick up Abagnale at the Squire Inn in Marietta, Georgia. In contrast to Abagnale's claims about escaping from the hotel as depicted in the film, Brown said that Abagnale was arrested in his room without incident. Brown also stated he had no personal knowledge of Abagnale's arrest prior to 1970, and after 1970, when Abagnale was arrested in Friendswood, Texas. In the years following the release of Catch Me If You Can, Abagnale began claiming he was granted a unique parole from federal prison in Petersburg, Virginia, so that he could work for the Bureau. Oh, it sounds nice, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
When the FBI took me out of prison, it was to do undercover work. Yeah, that makes sense. Abagnale also claimed that the clandestine work was given to him directly by Clarence M. Kelly, who directed the FBI from 1973 to 1978. In his Talks at Google lecture, Abagnale claimed that because of his photographic memory, which, by the way, remember, he says you can't remember things now, Kelly asked him to memorize the components of a military hardware and infiltrate bases as a lieutenant. Yeah, that makes sense. He has such extensive military training. He's going to fit right in. Abagnale describes Kelly's instructions this way. Okay, you're a lieutenant in the Army. You've been in the Army this many years. Your expertise is the missile. I need you to learn all this in 2 weeks. I'm sending you to this base, and I want you to find out what's going on in this particular area. Number one, he's not even going to he's going to be immediately known as a phony. He's not going to act like a military person at all. He's not going to know the fucking anything about the military.
This is a dude who is a total fucking chameleon, who convinced people he was a doctor, who convinced people he was a lawyer, who convinced people that he was 1,000,001 things. But he can't.
People that bought it at face value, sure. Anyone that's looked into him has never been convinced and thought he's just nothing but a con artist.
I mean, he's a con artist either way.
I mean, I agree with you. He's a con artist either way. But what I'm saying to you is that the only people that believe his story are people who've not critically looked into any of his claims. Anyone that's looked into his claims, they've fallen apart under scrutiny.
I mean, you put them under scrutiny and they haven't fallen apart at all. I still believe every word man has ever said.
They've crumbled into fucking dust, dude. They're like mummy bones. You touch one.
I mean, I don't know. I just don't feel like that much credible evidence has been presented. I mean, you got a lot of sissy words, Scotty. Little sissy, weak words.
Unlike TJ's words of steel.
Yeah, not my words of steel. I'm not saying I speak with the word of steel. I'm saying Frank Abagnale speaks with the word of steel. Okay.
In the lecture.
Oh yeah,
Abagnale
just brush right past that point, huh? Okay, I see.
Yeah, because I've already refuted you 1,000 times.
And refuted. You ain't refuted shit.
In the lecture, Abagnale also claims that Kelly sent him on similar missions as, quote, as a scientist at a lab in New Mexico. Oh shit, Los Alamos, right?
Jerry Area 51. I don't know.
I guess
Area
that's
51 too.
Fair enough.
Do you ever see any UFOs?
Jerry Williams, a retired FBI agent who specialized in white-collar crime and fraud, spoke to investigative journalist Javier Lavia about these claims. Williams rejected his claims and being tasked with clandestine operations directly by Kelly. If anybody tells you they got an assignment directly from the FBI director, right from the head of the FBI, you know for a fact it's bullshit. It doesn't happen that way.
I mean, that just sounds like a jealous agent right there. I mean, seriously, like, that's not even, I've never, because his ass has never been talked to by the head of the FBI. He's like, that's not how it even goes down. It's like, now it goes down for some middling ass bullshit artist like you.
So Frank was only granted a unique parole from a fucking federal penitentiary.
I mean, basically the
head of the FBI was like, Frank, we need you.
Let me tell you something. If you have a fucking basics, like a superpower, if you have a superpower the way that Frank does, of course, that's how it's going to go for you. Of course, like if you get one of the X-Men working for the FBI, the head of the FBI is going to come out and say like, Wolverine, you know what I mean? And that's basically what they got here. They got a real life X-Men.
My only real question is, why don't you just drop to your knees and suck this guy's fucking dick?
I would if
when he fucking blows a fucking load, dude, you fucking lick up every fucking drop.
You know why I don't do that, Scotty? Because he has not asked me yet. The moment that Frank fucking walks in this room and says that to me, I will fucking do it. No questions asked. I won't even ask why he's here, what he's doing here, anything like that. I'll just do it. Because that's the fucking level of respect I have for that man.
I think you should actually seek Frank out next time he does one of these speaking engagements and like, look, I 100% believe everything you've ever said, and I want to suck your cock.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why not.
I think you should.
I think I should too. It's the one fucking bit of truth you've spoken on this night.
I mean, I'm glad, dude. As much fucking knob polishing as you've done this part of the episode, I mean, you really should. I honestly believe that.
Okay. Is it this? Who's this? This ain't Frank.
We're done with Frank. We're done with fucking Frank, TJ.
I'm not done with Frank. What are you talking about? We're done with Frank.
Well, then I mean, you can pull an episode about Frank if you want as well. Maybe you could tell the truth about Frank, TJ. If you feel like he's been maligned by my research, you could maybe tell the true story.
Steven Spielberg already did. Beat me to it.
Oh, I guess too bad for you, man. Too bad. So sad.
Go watch Catch Me If You Can, because every fucking frame of that movie is true. Frank,
TJ, I think this person here is like, I think this might have been you in a past life.
he looks more like you.
I'll tell you why.
Okay.
You know who this is, TJ?
William Tungsten Davilovich.
This is
James-
internationally known Spanish journalist Juan de la Ropa Garza, dude.
Hell yeah.
Also a good guess. This is James Morrison, the doctor who made his patients shit themselves to death.
What? Say that again.
This is James Morrison, the
Uh-huh.
doctor who made his patients shit themselves to death.
Shit themselves to
That's why I
death?
said. That's why I said. Yeah, this is like.
Why is that me? Why have I ever made someone shit themselves to death? I've
Well,
never
TJ,
done that.
You're famous for having shat yourself in front of thousands,
Oh
if
my
not
God.
millions of people.
This is a Brit shit thing. Okay.
I mean, are you not famous for that?
No.
I'm pretty sure you are.
Nope.
I mean, we've done scientific polls and testing, and I mean, I think
have not.
honestly, if you believe in reincarnation, I think this might have been TJ in a past life.
You ain't done one damn fucking bit of research, bitch. You don't know.
Well, TJ, I think the britches speak for themselves.
No. You didn't even see the britches. You never examined the britches. There was never any fucking evidence.
Me and
because
Paul
you-
did we
you
did
all-
examine the britches, and there was you hung them up on a clothesline foolishly. I don't know why you did that. And
You
there was a
always
fucking hole in the back.
abscond. You always abscond with the britches as soon as the deed has been done. So how are we to test them, TJ? I will tell you this: after you shot your britches, I never saw those britches again. So you most likely threw them in the garbage can.
Garbage can. No. You guys are lying about them britches. I wore the
Lying.
same damn britches in that I wore out. You're full of shit.
No, that's actually you, TJ. You're full.
You're
of shit.
full of shit.
I'm not going to relitigate what's already been proven definitively.
All right.
Which is that, in fact, you shat your britches.
So wait, how is that making him a scammer though? Was he like selling him some like miracle cure, but then it made you shit yourself to death or something, or what?
You'll see, TJ. You'll see.
Okay.
In the 19th century, with medical knowledge, it wasn't really that good. Let's be honest. We didn't really know too much. And of course, the public, I mean, look, they're easy to fool. They're easy to deceive. So it's pretty easy to trick them as well. Scam artists and quack doctors. I mean, come on. They're a dime a dozen. But one scammer, TJ, was a titan to eclipse all others. It was a British businessman named James Morrison. After falling ill in the early 1820s, Morrison grew disgusted with physicians and their remedies and decided, you know what? I can do better. So he invented a cure-all pill and fooled a shocking number of people, growing rich in the process.
And apparently at some point they all shit themselves to death.
So Morrison had the idea.
I like this guy's plan for hiding his fat fucking neck too. Pretty brilliant.
I mean, yeah, I'll give him that.
Just insinuate a chin with some like super ridiculous. What is it even called? It's not even a turtleneck at that point.
It's a cravat.
There we go. We need to bring back the cravat.
Dude, Manson loves the cravat.
Yeah, I can see why.
I mean, yeah, you look pretty slim. If someone gets to see all your neck fat, like,
Yeah, if you're carrying some extra weight in your neck, that's a fucking pretty fucking solid way to just be like, no, I'm not. That's not there. I mean, people still know, but
but they don't know for sure though.
That's true.
Morrison had the idea that all diseases were caused by impurity of the blood, for which there was a solution, TJ. Profuse defecation.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Your blood's impure. Just keep on shitting.
Yeah, you need
Keep
to shit
on
more.
shitting.
You just need to shit more, dude. The more you shit, the purer your blood,
I
the
mean, if this is
healthier you
true,
are.
if this theory is correct, TJ, then you have the purest blood of us all.
Because I'm always shitting.
His initial belief came from the fact that he was able to cure his own lifelong constipation by creating his own homebrew laxatives. For some reason, he extrapolated from this that making people poop more easily would cure people with things like aneurysms or even smallpox. It's reasonable.
So, I mean, like, the way you're telling this story, it seems like this dude actually believed this shit. So, is he really a scammer at that point?
Well, I mean, if there's any efficacy to what he was doing, which there's not, then no, he was a scammer.
But don't you have to be like cognizant of the fact that what you're peddling is bullshit? Like, it sounds like he's a true believer, so he's bullshitting himself too.
Well, we'll see.
Okay.
The scientific method would have told him that giving people diarrhea wouldn't cure them of diarrhea, for example. So if you have diarrhea, giving yourself diarrhea obviously is not going to be a cure.
I mean, if you have diarrhea, that's just your body trying to purify your blood, dude.
And that, by the way, is a genuine example. He thought his pills could cure. So if you had diarrhea, it's like give yourself diarrhea, and then you'll be cured.
I mean, and it's true because if you fucking have enough diarrhea, you have nothing left to shit, and therefore your diarrhea is cured. So that's pretty.
Or you die horribly.
Well, I mean, either
however,
way.
James Morrison was no scientist, and he felt he didn't need any more proof than just trust me, all right? Come on, just trust old Jamie. Come on, TJ.
He looks pretty fucking trustworthy.
And of course, many desperate patients fell right into that. I mean, looking for any sort of cure. Because let's be honest, at the time, medical science was not too hot. Look, TJ. So this is what his miracle cure could do for you.
Okay.
This guy here, no legs, walking on crutches. And here's the extraordinary effects of Morrison's vegetable pills. Pretty insane, right, TJ? So you're saying he believed that literally you could regrow limbs and walk if you took vegetable pills.
So
this is one of his advertisements.
I love that this fucking, even his like after dude, like, yeah, this is what it can do for you, still looks like a fucking disgusting schlub. That's kind of cool.
Morrison created his own brand of vegetable pills to help people defecate. The universal vegetable pills were marketed as being able to cure everything. One advertisement, for example, shows a man who no longer needs his crutches. Having apparently gone to the toilet so well, he's regrown his amputated legs.
It's beautiful, dude.
I mean, yeah, wow, look, he's down his luck. Now he's walking around normal because he shit himself. Look, he shit his britches enough, took enough dumps, doing a lot better.
Yeah, it even made his hat straighter. That's a good point. His clothes got shabbier, though. Probably from spending so much time on the toilet.
Trust Morrison, TJ, not the doctors. So, we don't know what illness he suffered from, or if he even did. But he described it as 35 years inexpressible suffering. And
Until I learned to shit constantly.
And of course, what solved his 35 years of illness, TJ?
Shitting.
His amazing vegetable pills that made him shit. Based on his own recovery. I mean, very scientific of him too. Morrison determined all ailments, including pain, simply a result of a blood defect.
Well, it did wonders for my constipation. It'll surely cure cancer.
Yeah, like I can't shit, but now I can shit. So every ailment is cured. He believed that vegetable laxatives could effectively purge the impurities and restore patients' health. As far as he was concerned, real doctors were just being overly complicated. I mean, he had
Well,
the
yeah, because
solution.
they don't want to fucking, admit to you that pretty much everything can just be solved with this one little wonder pill. They want to fucking, string you along.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like stuff that they sell and peddle to people now.
Yeah. I mean, because
In
if people knew the
1825,
truth, I mean, I want to know, what I want to know, guys, is if these pills are still available.
They're not. Damn. In 1825, Morrison consolidated his ideas into a handy pill made of all natural ingredients: aloe, rhubarb, cream of tartar, and myrrh.
Amen.
Sounds like the perfect combination, right?
Yes.
Morrison declared the miracle pills would alleviate any and all health issues, from dysentery and smallpox to fevers, pimples, even talking in one's sleep. And all of it done by shitting your britches. Oh, God. I'm talking in my sleep. Not anymore.
Yeah, because now you've been woken up. You're not talking in your sleep no more. You're lying in a puddle of shit.
Well, his magical capsule became known as the Universal Pill, or Morrison's Pill. It came in two strengths, number 1 and number 2, and was promoted as a medication that could be taken as often as needed. 30 pills a day was perfectly fine, particularly for Morrison's sales.
Yeah, take as many as you want, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, I want to take 100? No big deal.
Keep them going.
English folklorist and author Eric Maple wrote in his 1968 book, Magic, Medicine, and Quackery, that Morrison's miracle pills were, quote, the most remarkable rubbish that the century had seen so far.
Yeah, the century was still young then, though.
To add legitimacy to this rubbish enterprise, Morrison had an idea. He dreamed up the British College of Health, with him serving as the chief hygienist. I think that means hygienist or something like that, but hygienist.
Okay.
His new organization sounded perfectly official, and to build credibility, he flooded the market with advertising, touting testimonials from patients and endorsement from others in the field of dubious medicine.
Beautiful.
Obviously, we have no idea how many of them were legitimate, but the sick made for obviously quick believers.
Especially if you're looking for a miracle cure.
And so look, TJ, here's the fallacy of organic theory of doctors, illustrated by hygienists. So this is listening to traditional medicine here.
Oh,
This
yeah.
tree, withered, poisoned, pumping it full of look, white swelling, asthma, cancer, gout, the madhouse, dropsy, stagnant, humors, bad medicine treatment, corrupt. Damn. Everything's going wrong here.
Yeah, look at all these motherfuckers. Bunch of damn
Cupping
crazy monkeys on that fucking
Cupping
tree.
and bleeding. No, I mean, look, I have to agree with him. Bleeding people, all except a few medical conditions, is worthless.
But dude, then you look over there and you see the fucking the tree of truth or whatever. The tree of taking a big old shit constantly.
Yeah. Look, this is the patient that shits constantly. The tree is looking perfect.
Western civilization is saved. People look refined and genteel.
We treat it as a whole. See, these people are treating the tree. They're just trying to treat all these symptoms.
Yeah, they're trying to treat all these branches of the tree and all these roots of the tree. But now,
when treated as a whole, the tree
along
is healthy and
comes a
thrives.
fucking visionary to show them the true path. And what do they do?
There's some there's like some little birds and shit living in the tree.
Yeah, instead of these nasty look at that. That guy has a diploma. Like that means something.
House for experiments on the poor in order to support the organic theory, commonly called hospital or infirmary.
Oh my God, yeah. So true.
Morrison took out one rather remarkable ad in the busy style of the time, comparing the human body of it to a tree and assuring the public that they could start on a regimen of his laxative pills even without speaking to the doctor.
I mean, why do
Are
you need
not
to?
trees and plants treated as a whole? So it should be with the human body.
Mm. Yeah, if something's wrong with if something's wrong with a tree, you don't fucking treat one branch. You treat the whole tree, Scotty.
Look at these healthy gentlemen. We drain the tree of sour and stagnant impurities, and behold, it thrives well.
We are unanimous. Beautiful. Total consensus. Logic and reason wins the day.
And with the universal medicine being composed of innocuous ingredients, can be taken without the advice of a doctor. Now, Morrison gets some credit here. His laxative pills were arguably a preferable option to the then common practice of bloodletting. If you take too little blood, you do no good. If you take too much, you kill the patient. He wrote in his 700-page promotional book, Morrisonia, first published in 1828, by his own wholly invented College of Health. To convince the world, I am ready to take them in doses, and for any length of time, and number of other persons who have done the same thing.
Physician, heal thyself, Scotty.
Yeah. And always to their great benefit. The more they are taken, the greater is the good, Morrison declared. Are the bloodletters ready to do the same thing by having their blood drawn off? Ah!
I don't think so. I saw a bloodletter the other day. A mosquito landed on him. He slapped it down. Just like anyone else would.
So
he ain't fucking prescribing that shit for himself. Piece of shit.
Though James Morrison was right about the absurdity of bloodletting, his attacks on traditional medical practices and mission to reinvent healthcare did not go without criticisms from the medical community.
Yeah, the bloodletting medical community.
Thomas,
I love how their shit isn't looked back on as a scam. It's just like, we made some mistakes, but this guy shit is a scam.
Thomas,
and I don't know why the Quaker Oats guy is there. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I don't know. He's busy. Thomas Wakely, founding editor of the still published medical journal, The Lancet, tried to discredit the pill's effectiveness and the theories behind them. Other physicians joined the campaign against Morrison, worrying that the public had that he was nothing but a fraud, but people didn't want to hear that. They wanted quick fixes.
That's so strange. It's not like that anymore.
Yeah, the good thing we've definitely run away from that kind of ways of thinking.
Yeah, now people understand the nuance of things.
Yeah, the people don't run to miracle cures. Like, especially when we saw that during COVID. You know, people didn't try to cure it by drinking bleach with citric acid in it. That somehow was going to fight off your COVID.
Oats do help you poo better. That's true. There's fiber in there.
One testimonial printed in an 1832 edition of The Spectre came from a man who claimed his wife had been suffering from chest pains for 12 years and had sought the best medical advice available, but to no avail. She was induced to apply your pills, by which, after undergoing a regular course for a few weeks, she was entirely cured. Another man
Hallelujah.
Another man claimed the pills cured his hernia. I tried many sorts of bandages, trusses, but without effect, he explained. But after ordering 2 boxes of Morrison's, which I have been taking according to the instructions given, I am happy to say my rupture has not troubled me since. Yes, the hole in your stomach, that was your intestines were coming through, magically healed. Despite the perfect
And you
picture
think
of
a bunch of more shit running through there would make things worse, but nope.
Nope. It actually repairs the wall of your
fixed it.
of your stomach. Yeah.
The turds sealed it shut.
Even though now people have to literally have patches and stuff put in to do that, Morrison found a way.
Well, that's because we fucking lost this great wisdom.
Despite the picture of perfect health Morrison painted, there were a few bumps in the road for the clever quack. I mean, a slight rub. I mean, a small detail. Whatever. I mean, barely even worth talking about, but I guess we will for the sake of completeness. I know you guys are going to probably roll your eyes. People started dying. I mean, people die.
Yeah, I was gonna say people die all the time. You know, that's what we do. People die. You know,
has there ever been a
Morrison's fault?
person? There's never been a person alive that hasn't died, unless
what's
they just
more
haven't
natural
died
than
yet.
that? What's more natural than dying?
Yeah, even trees die, Scotty. So I mean, like,
Yeah, I mean, Morrison can't be blamed for death itself.
right?
In
every
one case,
living thing will die or has died. So
true.
Come on.
In one case, a 15-year-old girl died in horrible distress in consequence of taking the pills. In a more publicized 1836 incident, a Morrison sales agent named Robert Salmon was convicted of manslaughter for administering 1,000 pills over the course of 20 days to Captain John Mackenzie, 32, who'd been suffering from knee pains. Whoops,
dude,
my knee hurts.
he
Take
gave him
Morrison
1,000
pills.
fucking shit pills and made him shit himself to fucking death, dude.
Yes, he.
What
to cure
the
his knee
fuck?
pain.
Oh, we're treating the old tree now. Like, oh my god. Oh, he made some dude shit himself to death because his knee hurt. Oh
And Captain
no.
John Mackenzie was desperate. So he also had doctors apply 14 leeches to his knee. A
Oh, well,
postmortem
that's what
determined-
killed him then. Never mind. I take it back. The leeches killed him.
A postmortem determined the pills, not the leeches or anything else, had been
A
the primary
postmortem
cause of
done
his
by
death.
the medical establishment. So come on.
And he had taken 72 of them the day before his passing.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't fucking induce like a week of just like nonstop shitting. It's probably not a good idea. I will admit that. That's probably not the greatest strategy for life.
12 more deaths were linked to overdoses, were investigated in York a year later. Morrison evaded punishment since his agents served as scapegoats and made the prudent decision to leave England for Paris sometime around 1834.
I'm gone now.
Well, the heat's on. Guess I'm going to Paris. After Morrison's
selling his pills there.
Oh, of course. After Morrison's flight, one of his vendors was even convicted of manslaughter after another death. Yeah, Morrison wasn't stopping. Come on.
Whoa.
Other ads also appeared in publications mocking the good doctor. A recurring theme in cartoon images were patients of Morrison sprouting vegetable tree limbs and leaves from their body, presumably from an overdose of the vegetable laxatives. This is an ad mocking him.
Dude, is that a big old tree boner coming out from underneath there that I see?
I think so.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be his dick.
Got a big old tree boner, man.
So what I'm getting is you take this pill. I love how their criticism of it isn't even like you're going to shit yourself to death. It's like, this motherfucker thinks vegetables are good for you. What a psycho. Like, and yeah, apparently you're going to get a big old tree dick. So
The tree dick, then, I mean, hey.
Doesn't seem all that bad.
Despite the bad publicity and potential to cause more deaths, Morrison continued to push the pills and even suggest that people take more of them.
Yeah, the problem is people aren't taking enough.
And of course, he always reminded people, look, you might take one of my miracle pills, but it might not work right away. Got to keep taking them. Just keep on taking the pills and don't give up on them. To those taking Morrison's pills, we say, do not stop taking them when you feel worse. Rather increase the doses. Read an ad from 1838. You must feel worse when the medicine begins to act upon the foul, acrimonious humors of the body, which often have been left to fix themselves with almost fatal grasp to the intestines, and many times stronger still by mercurial and other hurtful poisons.
Yeah, dude. I mean, look, sometimes it's got to get a little worse before it can get better.
Yeah, I mean, you feel bad, that's it working. I feel terrible. Well, just keep taking them.
Yeah, I mean, that's the fucking, I mean, there's a battle going on inside your body against the bad humors and stuff. So, obviously that's going to be painful for a minute. But once the good shit wins, you're going to feel a lot better.
Oh, that's true. By 1840, though, at the age of 70, James Morrison met his own demise. No record stated an overdose as the cause. However, it was recorded that the quack doctor was about to pop a few of his own pills before death interceded. Whatever Morrison's ailment, he surely died with a smile on his face. His charlatanism netted him £500,000, which equates to more than 51 million pounds today.
Damn.
It's approximately about $71 million. I mean,
And he lived to 70?
Yes, he did.
Sounds like he wins.
Yeah, I mean, he died on the lam, essentially. Morrison, and it wasn't just him. Morrison's sons carried out the family business and even extended the empire. Hopeful patients continued to buy the pills for decades until Britain finally put a stop to sales in 1920 and healed his particular brand of quackery.
Yeah, and never again did people fall for medical quackery.
Yeah, I mean, that's one good thing. Obviously, this is in the past. Now people just believe medical science wholly and just trust it and put their faith in it. Not based on superstition, but tangible evidence and the results of treatments, TJ, backed by science. I'm glad that we've moved past, the realm of ignorance and superstition and embraced truth and a rational discourse and a rational, constructive view of reality in which patients who are sick get the proper treatments for the ailments that afflict them.
Amen.
Head on. Apply directly to the forehead. Head
on.
I hate your commercials, but your product is amazing.
It's so amazing. My head is cured.
Oh my God, I don't even know what a headache is anymore. It's beautiful.
So
Nope, that's what I got for you guys. That's all the scammers. That's it.
No, I want more.
Well, I've been going for 2.5 hours, so go find
No,
some of your
fuck
own
you. I
scammers.
want more shit. You
Well,
said
I ain't got any more.
So great scammers of history only get 2. I want a nice even fucking, I mean, I guess 2's an even number, but I want a nice odd number like 3 or something, Scotty. Give me a third scammer.
I like an odd number. That's all you get for now, TJ. There's plenty more scammers. Don't worry. There'll be a
God damn
Scammers of
you,
History
Scotty. I
volume
want,
4.
but my appetite is whetted and I want more.
Too bad.
All right. Well, fuck you then.
Fuck you.
All right, audience. Be sure to come to our meetup. See you there. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.